Henderson of Bama football on YouTube. Could I get a roll tide inside the comment box? I appreciate y'all being here. Thank you very much for joining me on today's program. It is Sunday. It is January 4th. This is a midday report regarding the Alabama Crimson Tide, going to tie everything together going into this next pivotal week following the Crimson Tide's football season. So we're going to talk roster rundown. I'm going to give you the latest on Ty Simpson. We are going to track a couple transfer targets for the Alabama Crimson Tide. The latest news, I got you covered right here on Bama Football on YouTube. So thank you very much for joining me inside the comment box. Please let me know where you are watching from. On the back end of the program, I will take some calls, and I've been putting some of the calls within our podcast, which is the Wake Up Bama podcast, which drops every single morning at 4 a.m. Central Time. So again, thank you very much for being here. I appreciate you guys, checking in. There's a lot to cover, and good morning to all of you. Whether you're checking in from, I see Virginia, right here in beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama, out in Pell City, wherever you are, good morning, and let's get rolling right here on Bama Football on YouTube. The latest around Alabama quarterback Ty Simpson is this. Now, this just came in literally before I jumped online, and a lot of people have been discussing what is going to happen with Alabama quarterback Ty Simpson, if he's going to go to the NFL, if he's going to return, if he's going to transfer. I think he has three options on the table, and he has, I think, until January 15th to release that information and to make that decision. Now, this is just in from one of the most trusted reporters in all of the land, and that's Pete Nakos of On3. So let me read it out. It says, Alabama quarterback Ty Simpson, his agent, right, Peter Webb, told Pete Nakos of On3 that no decision has been made regarding Simpson's NFL future at this point of time, right? Simpson is continuing to evaluate his options while consulting with his family and close advisors. That's the latest on Ty Simpson. Let me ask you inside the comment box, what do you think that Alabama quarterback Ty Simpson is going to do? And the reason I ask is because there's been reports within the last 24 hours that he's actually going to bypass the NFL and that he's going to transfer to either Oregon or to Tennessee. And that was coming from Tom Loy of 247. I mean, this is a national analyst who put that out yesterday. And, it is big news. And I think it does impact Alabama, certainly, if he does decide to come back. If he goes in the NFL, will he be a first-round draft pick? And rather like a pick in the first round. And I think right now, kind of looking at Mel Kiper's big board, I think he has him as the number 3 quarterback on the board. That's why I think fully still, like if you had to ask me, I would say NFL. And I've been saying that for a long time. But there's other people out there that are adamant that he actually comes back to Alabama, right? And you all know the impact of what would happen if he does come back to Alabama, right? You think that if he comes back, you get a veteran quarterback coming back, but just as well as I know, that you're probably going to lose some quarterbacks, right? If not one, definitely two. So a lot of decisions. And then in terms of him transferring, like I was talking about yesterday, even when I was at the airport, it was funny. A guy came by and was like, I want the team to be more physical. Look, people are talking about, Ty Simpson. They want a more physical football team. I don't know. I mean, when kind of you zoom out and you look at Ty Simpson at a glance, let's kind of do the zoom out, right? This past season, 3,500 yards passing. He had 28 touchdowns, and he had 5 interceptions, right? He was sacked 29 times this past season. And the rumor, as you know, is if he doesn't go in the first round, right, that he's going to transfer to either Tennessee or to Oregon. Now, on Mel Kiper's board, he's the number 3 quarterback after Fernando Mendoza and after Dante Moore, and is only a redshirt junior. That is the biggest question that I get when I'm covering Alabama football. And people are like, well, he already has his degree. Well, he already has his master's degree. How is he able to, he's got to be a senior. No, he doesn't. As you know, there's different eligibilities. And Ty Simpson's been putting in the work. So he already has his master's. He'll probably get another master's degree. That's common if he does transfer somewhere else. And we'll see what happens. So, but the other thing that I have to ask, as we're talking about Ty Simpson, on this beautiful Sunday is all the injuries that he went through. I mean, my goodness, the Tuscaloosa News released a report. I think it was on Saturday. I mean, days are flying by. And they were discussing all the injuries that he had this season. My goodness. Fractured rib, that was the last game, right? Lower back injuries that started happening at the end of October, right? Gastritis, my goodness. And the interesting part is if he had all the, and there was some other injuries that he was dealing with, but I was saying, man, if he has all these injuries, God, and the coaches still feel that he's the best guy for the job, that tells us the other guys are not developed yet. They are not ready to be the quarterback here at the University of Alabama, right? Clearly. Because if Ty was, look, if you've had a lower back pain, you're going to be limited. So that tells me that these guys aren't ready yet. Or they just, they want to just to ride with Ty. I don't know. It's interesting, right? Because I was like, man, all those injuries that he had and they're still playing him? You could look at it as maybe being like irresponsible with the staff, but they know what's best. I mean, they're not going to put out a guy who's, dangerously injured. It's just, I found that so interesting. I was like, wow, despite all those injuries, he's still playing. Crazy. All right. So my final question is, we kind of work through Ty Simpson. I want to hear from you inside the comment box. I honestly would like to hear what you think that Ty Simpson is going to do within the next 2 weeks and the decision that he makes. I'm going to go all in and say NFL. I'm going to say he's going to go to the NFL draft, and that's kind of where we're at. But I want to hear from you. So I put together, you make the call on Ty Simpson. So get inside the comment box right now. Type A for the NFL. Type B for transfer. Type C that he returns to Bama. Or if you're still undecided, type D. Let me know inside the comment box what you think that he's going to do. All right. I'm going to go ahead and say A. I think it's a lock to be the NFL. Even if he's a second round guy or a late first round guy, I don't think that's a knock. I mean, look, there's been guys that have gone way later in the draft and they've still been fine. I think Ty's IQ, his athletic ability, I think that he still has room to grow. But I do know this, and this is how it operates here, okay? The backup is always better at the quarterback position. And look, fans have been ready for a different quarterback for quite some time. Once Milroe was done, they were done with Milroe. Once Ty was done, they're done with Ty Simpson. They want a different quarterback. The fans want Keelan Russell. And that's just how fans feel. They want Keelan Russell. He's played in 2 games, but that's the guy that they want. And that's just how the fans feel. Right? So I'm even watching like Austin Mack. If I'm Austin Mack, I'm like, man, do these guys even want me coming back? Right? Because I think if I was to ask you another poll, do you want Keelan Russell to start or do you want Austin Mack? And even though you've barely seen Keelan Russell, I guarantee you everybody would vote. You know what? I'll put up a poll, all right? And I think if you get Ty back, you lose Keelan Russell, you probably lose both of them. But who do you want to start at quarterback? Who do you want to start at QB in 2026? Russell or Mack? All right, go ahead. Watch the poll results. I'm going to bet that it's Keelan Russell. Go ahead and vote inside the comment box. And I appreciate you guys. If you guys are just checking in on this beautiful Sunday, I appreciate y'all being here. Thank you so much. And so far, we are off to the races, off to 27 votes, and it's 70% Keelan Russell. Right? So, and Broderick's right, the best player. But everybody feels that it is Keelan Russell. We've seen him 2 times, right? And I see a lot of you inside the comment box being like, it doesn't matter if we don't have an offensive line. Maybe that's true. I think that's where everybody's pointing the fingers because you can't fire Ryan Grubb. So the thing that you can attack is the offensive line coach, Coach Kapilovic, right? You want him fired, right? Am I right? Type Y if you do. You want him fired and you want all the offensive linemen to leave. But so far, 66% have said that they want Keelan Russell to be the starting quarterback next year. So, told you, right? Okay. This is the craziest stat, all right, that I've seen so far. This was put together by Mike Rodak, all right? Mike Rodak put this out. This is crazy. Can't even believe this is true. Every wide receiver from Alabama that signed from 2020 to 2023 recruiting classes has entered the transfer portal at some point. Aaron Anderson, remember him? I love that. Yo, Aaron Anderson's a baller, right? Ajay Hall, he just declared for the NFL, by the way. Christian Leary, Cole Adams yesterday, Emmanuel Henderson, Jalen Hell, Jaron Hamilton, Javon Baker, Ja'Cory Brooks, JoJo Earl, Kendrick. This list is crazy. Kobe Prentice, Malik Benson still playing right now in the playoffs for Oregon. Shaz Preston, Dayu Jones-Bell, Trayshawn Holden. Yo, that stat, yo, absolutely blew me away. My goodness, that's crazy. That is wild. I mean, you look at the board and you're like, man, would any of these guys have played? Yeah, some of them did play. Some of them had really big moments. Why isn't Isaiah Bond on here? Shouldn't he be on here? When was he recruited? Maybe they missed on Bond. Either way, it's absolutely a crazy stat. I mean, look at some of these guys made plays, right? Absolutely. Oh, I know, Curry. Everybody thinks that I hate Keelan Russell, and everybody thinks that I hate Austin Mack. It's the same thing. I always hate quarterbacks. That's the common thing, bro. I get it, right? I know. The thing is, I want the best player to start, whoever that is. I want Alabama to win football games so the channel can do better. The channel doesn't do well when the team sucks. So why would I want a quarterback that isn't good to start? Doesn't make sense. I want the best guy to start. It is common sense, dude. LT Overton says goodbye. All right, so you have, because this is the announcement culture, right? We get an announcement for every single thing, and we got one for LT Overton. He's announcing because he's going to the NFL draft, right? He and I know it's confusing for people because you're like, wait, wasn't he already leaving? Yes, he's already leaving because he's going to the NFL draft. We will miss LT Overton. LT Overton was great. I think he had a really good, successful season, and I am so glad. Most importantly, I'm just glad that this guy was healthy from whatever he came from, right? The illness that he must have battled must have been horrible. And everybody knows what, the rumor, it was never confirmed. But it was what was it? Blood clots, right? I mean, we're never going to find out. They might say, like, he'll probably say this when he starts a podcast or something like this, but I mean, I'm just glad that he's taken care of, and I'm glad he's healthy, because that seemed scary. Anytime you get some sort of an illness like that, that was absolutely crazy. Yeah. And Jeff, I've seen all your posts inside the comment box, man. I talk about that all the time. The running backs, yeah. You have the last time that Alabama ran for 1,000 yards was in 2021 when they went to the national title. The year before that, they ran for 1,400 yards in 2020, and they won a national title. Since that, they haven't reached the national title game. Is it a coincidence? I don't know, but I talk about that every single day on the show. Damani Jackson also said goodbye as well. Damani Jackson, I think he had a successful career here. It's just, the Dejon Lee turned out to be better than him. Xavier Brown turned out to be better than him. I think he did a good job. But, yeah, I mean, he came over from USC where I don't think, he had the best career. And, over here he's doing great. Yes, and Nakai Hill-Green is leaving. And I'm going to go over the entire roster because I know everybody's like, who's coming back? Who's leaving? It is confusing. I will walk you through it. I promise you. Let me just get through a couple of these slides, and there's a lot to track. But I promise you, I will show all that stuff. There's 4,500 players in the transfer portal, I guess. maybe more. Shoot, we might as well jump in the transfer portal ourselves. I think this number is even higher. This number keeps getting higher and higher and higher, right? And I'm looking at my phone every single second because of the transfer portal news. It is just wild. So far from Alabama, to keep it organized, let's just go over the list one more time, okay? I want to screenshot it. And look, by the time we get off this video, I'm sure there'll be more guys that have jumped in the portal. I mean, it happens all the time. The latest one is Cole Adams down at the bottom, but let's read them. All right, you got Bubba Hampton. I know Bubba Hampton wasn't even on the team the whole year. I see what you guys see. He wasn't here even in August. We still got to list him. Jalen Hell, Jalen Mbakwe, Joseph Ionita, Cam Howard, Noah Carter, Olas Allen, Richard Young, Rock Montgomery, Peter Nataro, Micah DeBose, Cole Adams. I think out of all those guys, I mean, Noah Carter is clearly a loss, like a future loss, but you're like, well, he wasn't going to play over Yonza Pierre. I know. There's a lot of guys that aren't going to play next year. But you got to be patient. After Yonza Pierre leaves and after Quay Rusau leaves, you're just going to have Justin Hill, right? You have Justin Hill and Noah Carter there. Those guys would be as equally as good as Yonza and Quay. It's called depth, but you don't play me now, I'm out. So I think Noah Carter's a loss. Who would have known what would happen with Jalen Mbakwe? I mean, I think the thing with Jalen Mbakwe, just to be honest, and this probably make people mad, oh, you don't like the team. I think you're paying him too much. You're probably paying him like close to $1 million, and it's hard to get him on the field. There's other guys that are better than him. Maybe in the future he gets some playing time, but it's simple economics. It's like, why are you paying a guy $850,000 when you're not playing him? Doesn't make sense. Jalen Hell, we wish him all the best. I'm glad he was healthy. Right? Everyone else on the board, I think, is replaceable, right? I mean, there's no one on here. I mean, you know what? Maybe like Joseph Ionita, maybe like Olas Allen, because those guys are linemen, right? So that's kind of the latest transfers. By the way, do you like how we keep it organized? Do you like kind of the flow of it? I just like to keep things like organized so you understand, because there's a lot of stuff to keep track of. So I always like to go one by one, and I want to make sure from a viewer's perspective that you can, see things and they're aesthetically, visible to you, because that's how I'm super visual. All right, this is wild right here to me too. The offensive line men that are leaving so far, okay, are these guys. Gino Vandermark, and I know you guys don't like any of these offensive linemen. I understand. I'm just here to report who's leaving. But I get it. You guys don't like any of these guys. I don't even know if you guys like Caden Proctor. But just so we can keep track of the news, Gino Vandermark, he's leaving, okay? Cam Dewberry, he's also leaving. Hey, thanks, Michael. I appreciate it, bro. Jaden Roberts, he's leaving. Never even played. Crazy. Caden Proctor, I think his announcement's coming soon for the NFL. It would be silly if he came back. He hasn't announced officially, but it would be like utterly. I mean, he's a first-round guy. Come on. Parker Brailsford hasn't announced yet. I know you guys don't like Parker Brailsford either. Joseph Ionita, right? Olas Allen, Micah DeBose, and Rock Montgomery. All those guys are leaving. It's a lot of offensive linemen. I know you guys don't like any of these guys, but it is what it is. Okay? So, regarding Parker Brailsford, what you guys think about Parker Brailsford? Parker Brailsford come back, or is he leaving? He would be a 3-year starter. He started 2 years in a row here. He was a lot better than Seth McLaughlin, right? You can at least snap the football. So you're like, wow, well, is Parker Brailsford coming back? Well, he just posted this on Instagram. You make the call. What does this mean? It's the start of the ambiguous posts. This is ambiguous postseason, so you guys break it down. From Sun Tzu, okay? The latest is in. He just posted this on Instagram. in the midst of chaos, there is also opportunity. Who wants to break that down? Who's in philosophy? Who can break that down? Is he coming back or is he leaving? The redshirt junior. A lot of people don't like him. See? A lot of people do. A lot of people don't. And he just posted this. In the midst of chaos, there's also opportunity. Yo, Josh, well, what did the Seahawks do? Okay, this is important, okay? Okay, you all know that I love the 49ers. Last night, the 49ers took it on the chin. Okay, Josh is pointing out the Seahawks. I think he likes the Seahawks fans. That's fine. What did the Seahawks do if you watched that game last night? Did they pass the ball or did they run the ball? You saw it last night. You run the ball at any level, you are going to wear down the defense, and they dominated the Niners by running the ball. Dominated. You think the Seahawks would be in the same spot if they still had Ryan Grubb? Think about it. The Seahawks, okay, last year ranked 28 out of 32 in the NFL, okay? This year, with a new offensive coordinator, are you guys getting this? With a new offensive coordinator, now they finish with the number 1 seed in the NFC? Like, is that a coincidence? Or is that luck? I mean, geez, it's crazy to me. Like, all of a sudden, they get a new offensive coordinator and they're that good? Because they're running the ball with physical running backs? I don't know. So I don't know about Parker Brailsford. This is what he posted. I don't know what it means. You're going to see a lot of this. And just, it's like, you know, I personally, I think Parker Brailsford is good. The problem is, I think in my opinion, I feel he's undersized, which puts Alabama in tough situations on like 4th and 1. I think, you know, looking at the entire season, right? Looking at the entire season, you're like, are a lot of the times it was 4th and 1, they couldn't like dominate because he's a smaller lineman? I don't know. I mean, in the past, when I was covering the team under Saban, Ross Pierce-Baker, Landon Dickerson, Bradley Bozeman, all those guys seemed a little bit bigger than Brailsford. I don't know. So we'll see what it means. I love the quote. I personally like Parker Brailsford. Let's see what happens. Okay. And thanks for being here, by the way. I appreciate you guys kicking it with us right here on Bama Football on YouTube. All right. Transfer targets for the Tide. All right. Somebody said put the logos on the players. I thought that was a great idea. I'm always looking forward for your feedback. All right. Patriot Life in with a super chat. Thank you, Patriot Life. I'll get to you in 1 second, bro. Thank you, bro. Always in the corner, man. So you got Brock Riker over here on the left, offensive lineman, 6'4", 295 pounds. He's got offers from everywhere. He played center. I'll talk about more on him in just a second. You got Cam Coleman. Kind of seems like this is like we're wishful thinking here, but he is coming to Tuscaloosa on Wednesday, and I think he's at Texas today, right? You have Caleb Woodson. I would love to get him. He's an inside backer. As you guys pointed out, right, we need an inside linebacker. Devin Tompkins as well, 6'5", 285 pounds. He's a defensive lineman. And then Hollywood Smothers, who is actually in Tuscaloosa today, a running back. The Crimson Tide is targeting these 5 players from the NCAA transfer portal so far. I'm sure there's others in the mix, but these are the guys that have kind of been brought to the forefront, right? Got a couple super chats. Let's look at these real fast. Patriot Life says this. Put a cap on how many can be given and watch the portal slow down. Then it would mostly be about leaving because they just want an opportunity elsewhere, not because of the higher pay. Yeah, and I think look, Bama still has, once you get a Bama stamp that you played at Bama, you can enter the portal and imagine like any other program. It's like, hey, he played at Bama or he was on the Bama roster. Let's get him, right? And so their value always goes up. It kind of puts Alabama at a tough position retaining players because once you got that Bama stamp, your stock goes up, right? Even if you didn't play. I appreciate the super chat, Patriot Life. And Roll Tide is saying, Kyle, do you think Alabama would benefit from getting a run game coordinator? you know what? That's it. This is a good idea because you have Ryan Grubb, who's the OC, right? And you can't get rid of him. So maybe bring somebody in that specializes in run game. But you do have your running backs coach is Robert Gillespie, who's also an associate head coach. Everybody here is also a head coach, by the way. It's really interesting how they operate that. I think there should be the head coach, and then there should be OC, DC, kind of go from there. But over here, it's like head coach, and then everyone else is like associate head coaches. I don't know. I'm kind of more of like a hierarchy person. You got rid of Nick Sheridan. I mean, you're bringing in Derek Nix. You still have room to bring in another coach or two. Yeah, having somebody that can organize kind of thoughts on the run game, because I'm a strong proponent of the further you get away from the run, the further you get away from a national championship. 2020 is a long time ago. I know they show pictures of the players like holding, the trophy. It's 2020. Yo, that's a long time ago. We're already in 2026, right? Neil, what's up, man? I appreciate it. Oh, I don't know about that, but I would definitely implement like a crossing route or a slant every now and then. I think that would be, productive for this offense. All right, so I think it's Brock Reicher. I have to update him. I can't let small errors go like unnoticed. So if you see something in some of the graphics, because I do all the graphics, just point it out. As I always say, it's okay. Like, I'm human. I make mistakes constantly. But my vision is to at least have something in front of you so we can have something to look at, all right? Brock Reicher, all right? Alabama, because I know this is interesting because this is an offensive lineman. We don't want a running back. Are we even going to run the ball, right? We don't want a receiver. We got receivers. We're already paying for wide receivers. We want offensive linemen. So here's an offensive lineman that Alabama's offered. Texas State Bobcats, right? 6'4", 292 pounds. He logged 886 snaps at the center position. He's a native of Brock, Texas, former 3-star athlete. So Brock is from Brock, Texas. I find it interesting is like we don't know what Parker Brailsford is going to do yet. We know that Joseph Ionita, he played center. We know that Rock Montgomery played center. So you're losing 2 centers. Geno Vandermark could play center as well. So you're losing 3 guys who play that position. Geno Vandermark played guard and center, okay? Whenever Brailsford was gone, it was Vandermark who was playing center, by the way. And then if Vandermark was playing guard, it was Ionita. So you need a center, clearly. Is it going to be Brock Reicher? I don't know. As soon as this guy went into the portal, he has offers from everyone, okay? And I don't even know if he's scheduled a visit yet. But just it's out there that you do have a center, right, which is Brock Reicher. That is on the board, all right? Couple more things to go through, and we're going to still do the Alabama roster rundown. If you like the video, let me know inside the comment box. I appreciate the super chats, and if you want to become a fan funder of Bama Football on YouTube, hit the join button. There's different levels. I appreciate your support now more than ever as we go away from the season into the off season. So thank you so much. And if you're a business owner out there and you're like, damn, look at all these views. Yes, hit me up, and I'd be happy to welcome you on as a sponsor, right? I don't even have a sponsor for Wake Up Bama. Wake Up Bama is actually crushing it. You hit that join button right there. All right. And business owners out there, hit me up for Wake Up Bama. I would love to feature you in a segment. Just think about, like, you could have, like, Sleeper, right? See how the Sleeper outline is? But imagine, like, your logo. All right. Let's go over, let's do some roster rundown. This is, this is an absolute labor of love, okay? So I'm building all the graphics out to look like this. This should be, finished here in a little bit of time. But I want all the graphics to be symmetrical. This is the 2026 quarterback room as of right now, okay? You guys like this outlook? Is it clean for you? We got Ty Simpson, and as I just opened up at the beginning of the show, we do not know what Ty Simpson is going to do, okay? If he comes back, we'll figure it out. But here's where we are right now. You got Austin Mack, Keelan Russell, Jet Thamala, and you got Taden Kawa, okay? That's the quarterback room. And I did hear that Coach Kalen DeBoer said in one of his interviews, because I listen to all of them just like you do, they want to keep 5 quarterbacks on the roster. Okay. I would imagine that John Gazaniga, who's a walk-on, he gets put on scholarship. I mean, everybody could get put on scholarship. They have 105 scholarships to give, right? So there's your quarterback room. And again, if you missed the opener, just rewind it. I talk about Ty Simpson, the latest update, and basically, long story short, he hasn't made a decision yet. This is kind of like our old graphics, right? And this would be the room without Ty Simpson. Austin Mack, Keelan Russell, Jet Tamala, Tatum Kawa, right? So this would be the room without Ty. And then, like DeBoer said, you want to have 5 quarterbacks on scholarship. Okay, the running back room looks like this. You got Jam, who's exhausted his eligibility, although I did hear from someone that he could be considered a super senior. I'm still trying to dig into that, okay? But Jam won't be here next year. He could, if he's a super senior, I'd imagine he'd transfer. Richard Young hit the portal, so these are your running backs: Daniel Hill, Jalen. I gotta update this too. This should be here. Okay. Jalen's out of eligibility, so he leaves. Oops. Right here. And then Kevin Riley, A.K. Deere. And then next year's running backs look like this, right? Daniel Hill, Kevin Riley, A.K. Deere, Xavier Crowell, and then Trayshawn Brown, right? Now, as you know, Hollywood Smothers is in town right now, like today. How do you feel about Alabama taking on another running back? How do you feel about this? Hollywood Smothers, I would say, is more comparable to like a Kevin Riley or a A.K. Deere. He's probably more like Kevin Riley. He's kind of like a fast, twitchy running back, whereas Daniel Hill clearly is more bruising. I think Crowell is like all-purpose. Trayshawn Brown. It seemed they might be trying to go to like some faster running backs. But I'll say this. And I've been talking about this a lot, and I'm not going to spend too much time because I've talked about this a few times already. I don't know if I'm a running back and I'm Hollywood Brown, okay? Hollywood Brown got a ton of opportunities last year at NC State. So you look at a guy like this, okay, and you're like, why would a guy like this come over here if he didn't feel that he was going to be the starter? Okay, he had 160 carries last year. In my mind, if he comes here, he's coming to be the starting running back, or at least, maybe number 1 with Xavier Crowell being number 2. And I know you guys want A.K. Deere to start, and you guys want, maybe more Daniel Hill, but Hollywood Smothers is in town today. I think that tells me they want faster running backs. Daniel Hill is good for what he is. He's a powerful running back, but I think he lacks a lot of speed. I think he's slow. And now if he can get faster. I mean, shoot, he's the same size as like Derrick Henry. But if Hollywood Smothers is here and he's with his agent, they're like, yo, we're coming in, we want $1 million, and I want 160 carries. They're like, we're going to give you 50 carries this year. And this guy wants the ball, plain and simple. So I don't know. If you get him, hooray, because this guy is fast. I love his tape. I just don't know if Alabama wants to make a real serious commitment to running the ball. I don't. And that, it's not fun to talk about that, but these are the stats, all right? Bama ranked 15th out of 16 in the SEC. Jam Miller, and I get it, he was banged up, but he led the team with 504 yards. That's the lowest since 1990, okay? Against Indiana, they ran for 23. Against Oklahoma, they ran for 28. Against Georgia, -3. right? No running back that has hit 1,000 yards since 2021. What happened in 2021, Kyle? Well, they went to the national championship. Well, what did they do in 2020? They won the national championship. Did they have a running back that ran for 1,000 yards? Yes. Actually, the running back ran for 1,400, which was Najee Harris, right? Does Bama want to run the ball? I don't know. It seems like we're getting further and further away from doing that. Okay. You also got 5-star running back Xavier Crowell coming in. Whew, man. I think Crowell wants to be fed, right? More or less 500 yards Xavier Crowell, 2026. More or less 500 yards for Crowell in 2026. Jam ran for 500. More or less 500 for Xavier Crowell. I don't know. That's a tough one right now. People say more. Okay. More. All right. That's the heavy pull. I really hope so, fam. Wouldn't it be dope to watch him as a freshman? I can't wait. Like, he's going to break the internet when we get footage of this guy. Who's going to block for him? Good question. WILKIN Formby, that's who. WILKIN Formby, that's who's blocking for him. All right, here's your wide receivers, okay? There's a lot to go over here. These are your wide receivers, like, right now. Okay, we are still waiting for Jeremy Bernard's announcement that he's going to the NFL. Clearly he is because he's out of eligibility, but you got to wait for their announcement. They all make announcements. So he's leaving, but everybody else could come back. I got portal on Cole Adams. We got portal on Jalen Mbakwe. You got a portal on Jalen Hell. I get a lot of people telling me that this is the best wide receiver in the room, that Derek Meadows is the best. We saw him a little bit. I kind of feel like right now this is the best guy, though, Alazier Brooks. So you got to re-sign him, right? I'm sure they're in contract negotiations right now. Isaiah Horton, I don't know if this guy comes back or not. I saw some of you want Cam Coleman. Well, maybe so. I mean, you're spending a lot here, right? Or you were, because you're probably Ryan Williams. Look, he's not cheap. Okay, that's why I was like, man, people think that he's gonna leave. Where? Why? Yo, he's already getting paid. Rico Scott, is this guy on portal watch or is he coming back? I think Rico Scott, man, losing Rico, that would suck. People love Derek Meadows coming in. Sedarian Morgan. Yo, look, you get Derek Meadows 6'5", you get Sedarian Morgan 6'4". Oof, man. I know Josh is like, why didn't Brooks? Brooks, he got a pass thrown to him by Austin Mack, but it was like thrown, I don't know, 100 miles an hour, and it would just, I don't even think it was like on target. Big Matt, what's up, bro? I appreciate it. So this is what we're looking at so far. We need to put another portal on Cole. We could actually probably start taking these guys off too. Here we are on the receivers. You guys think Isaiah Horton comes back? I don't know. These juniors, man, I think they could. I think Isaiah Horton could come back and Parker Brailsford too. What's up, Kyle Banks? Davis wants Cam Coleman. I just think that Cam Coleman, like, look, Davis, and I agree, bro. Cam Coleman is the number one guy. Think about this. Cam Coleman is the number one receiver, the number one player in the transfer portal out of 4,500 kids, right? But I think you've spent money that you could spend or throw towards Cam Coleman on other guys, right? Because let's just do simple math. Let's just say Cam Coleman costs $4 million, right? You're definitely spending here. You got to spend on Lazier Brooks. You got to, like, Sedarian Morgan wasn't cheap. And this could be a good nucleus of receivers. I personally, look, I would love to have Cam Coleman, but I think you need linemen. I think you look at whoever the best linemen are, and that's where you put the money. Cam Coleman is a fine young man, a great receiver, but I don't think that's the issue. The issue is with linemen, right? Here's the tight ends. You have Josh Cuevas, he's gone. Brody Dalton's gone. Danny Lewis, hopefully Danny Lewis could be healthy, man. That guy was banged up all season, unfortunately. Didn't really hear too much about Jackson Marco. Jay Lindsey got in a couple times. These guys are good right here. And when you look to this 2026 room at tight end, yo, we're cooking. Oh, Sam, who are you trying to look at, Sam? Which guy? Let's see. Was there anyone? Okay. Is there anyone you need, Sam? Were you looking at this receiver board? Let's put it right. See, put it right there. How about that? Is that better, Sam? Cole Adams, Jalen Hell, and Jalen Mbakwe. That makes sense. The 2026 tight ends, this is what it looks like. Samarco, Lindsey, Edwards, Pritchett, Sutter, and then you just brought in, this is the only guy that they brought in so far from the portal. They'll bring in more guys, but so far, Josh Ford, right? Offensive line, we have I don't have all the offensive line on here. That's one of the things that I plan to do. These graphics are always like fluid. I'm always working on them. But just to give you a snapshot at the guys who played most this year, Proctor, he's leaving 100%. Whether you like him or not, he's leaving. All right. Dewberry out of eligibility. Same with Roberts, and same thing with Vandermark. Waiting on an announcement of some sort from Brailsford. Formby will be back, and I know Michael Carroll. Right? So these could be, out of the guys who played the most last year, if these guys come back, you would have 3 offensive linemen. If you don't, then take out Parker Brailsford, and you just really have 2, which is kind of scary to think about. And the offensive linemen that you brought in 4 high school guys and 1 junior college guy. Yo, I get it. The offensive line wasn't it, but there's not a lot of experience coming back. Yeah, Neil's asking about like I said, I have another graphic that showcases the offensive linemen that signed in. I just don't feel out of any of the offensive linemen that signed, I don't think any of them could make a real run to start this coming year. Jackson Lloyd comes back. He didn't really play a lot. That's why he's not on this graphic. But, yeah, he comes back. But, like, Arkell and Newcomb, I think he's a way out from playing ever. That was a weird one that they got. The guy from Ball State, he had, like, never played football before. So that's the offensive line. And, again, more the graphics are still, in progress. But this should kind of give you a snapshot. The defensive line, you're really only losing Big Tim Keenan, right? Everyone else returns. Let's see. Keelan Russell says, is the GOAT says this. Kyle, I have a question. Do you think if Horton or someone leaves, and additionally, or Rico Scott, do you think we would bring Coleman? I don't know. Someone just said inside the comment box that they think they have a good shot at getting Coleman. The things that I've seen, it doesn't look like Coleman is coming here. It seems like more Texas, but who knows, bro? Bama is not broke. If they could fit him in, they'll get him. That's why I'm saying, like, I see people feel confident about Texas or wherever, but I don't know. Bama is not broke. They just got to, maybe shift some things around, and they can maybe make it work. Because they could also pay him a certain amount and then get some NIL opportunities for him as well, right? Because let's face it, Bama's still among one of the biggest brands in college football. So let's say they pay him, I don't know, 1.5, and then they link him up with Nike for another $1 million, right? Or they link him up with Gator. Who knows? I have no idea. But you could spin it a couple different ways. The defensive linemen that are coming back for next year, none of these guys have said they're going into the portal. Beeman should be back from an injury. James Smith, he was really good. Kelby Collins, he spot played. He wasn't bad. Edric Hill's really good too. Faga's good. London Simmons is great. This is actually a pretty good squad coming back on the defensive line. I love the defense coming back. The offense, I'm a little nervous about the offense right now. But I think the defensive line were straight. And even the guy, look, you even got some defensive line signees behind them that are pretty good. Defense, I think we're in a good spot. Some of these guys are already here. You got the bandit position. You're out of LT Overton, who just said goodbye. Oh, shoot. We just got some news, family. Breaking news. WILKIN Formby is entering the transfer portal. WILKIN Formby is entering the transfer portal. Breaking news that is in. Breaking news. WILKIN Formby is in the transfer portal. All right, I have to get this up, so we're going to do this together. What do you guys think? Breaking news, WILKIN Formby in the transfer portal. We will put a portal tag on, let's get a portal tag from over here. And let's put it on here. You guys talk about it while I get this up real quick. WILKIN Formby in the transfer portal. Please discuss why I get this out on social media. Breaking news, WILKIN Formby into the transfer portal. Wow, crazy. What do y'all think? You shocked? You surprised? This is, you know what? The thing about WILKIN Formby too is he's like like a Tuscaloosa guy, right? Oof, man. Give me 1 second. Breaking news. WILKIN. All right. Thank you for being patient, fam. Just like when news happens, it's just I have to do a lot of different things, at the same time. So this is a new one. Just now is WILKIN Formby. So WILKIN Formby, his family, you like if you're familiar with Tuscaloosa, do you know Taco Casa? His great family. Really, really good kid. Went to the same high school as my kid, Northridge. His brother is also, I would imagine, going like Division I somewhere. But WILKIN Formby, outside of that, and outside of him having a good family, this guy was on the struggle bus. And there's no way to deny that. The last 2 years, he struggled here. Now, while, we can, I don't know, hooray, he's leaving. I guess I get concerned when you look at this. Because if Formby, like with Formby leaving, and I don't know what's going to happen with Parker Brailsford, does this mean that we only have one offensive lineman returning? Which I guess you could say is a good thing or a bad thing, but shoot. Because let's just say, right, all these guys, and this graphic right here is the offensive lineman that played most. Are you with me? So left tackle, gone. Left guard, gone. Center, let's just say he leaves, gone. Right guard, didn't play, gone. WILKIN Formby just hit the portal, gone. Michael Carroll, he's returning, right? He's a freshman. And Gino Vandermark, who was kind of like the Swiss Army knife that played right guard, left guard, center, he's out of eligibility. Does that mean, is that what this means, fam? And look, the offensive line wasn't it. I'm just worried about what it means, like, depth-wise. Josh is like, I don't care. You run for 20 yards, -3, get rid of them all. Maybe this is a blessing. Maybe I shouldn't be worried about the depth. I should just be in the experience. Maybe I should just, like, look for something new. Oh, man. That's wild. Paul Green, what's up, man? Thanks for becoming a fan funder, man. Look, that even got us a fan funder. I love that avatar, man. That's dope. It's the perfect blend of Michael Jordan and the GOAT, right? GOAT on GOAT. So maybe it's a blessing. But all these guys are out. So maybe Parker Brailsford and Michael Carroll, the guys that come back. I don't know. And you know what? The whole thing about Taco Casa, it took me a while. I didn't really like Taco Casa when I first got here, but I'm cool with it. I actually like Taco Casa. I like their beefy nachos, and just their regular tacos. They're cool. But I try to eat as healthy as I can. But if I'm in a jam, yo, Taco Casa, it's not far from my house either. I think it's good. It took me a while though. It did. All right. So breaking news, in case you missed it, Wilkin Formby into the portal. All right. Let me check one more thing, and then we will get going. A lot to cover, huh? Shoot. All right. Next up, we were talking about the defensive line, right? All right, let's see. Defensive linemen, like I was saying, I like where we're at from a defensive line standpoint. I do. I think I actually like all these guys. Truth be told, before Jeremiah Beeman got hurt, he was doing work. This guy like kind of had a glow up in the summertime, and then he just had a leg injury. This guy's really good. Collins is an off the bench guy. Edric Hill played a lot. He's good, really good. Didn't really see him. Really good, right? So we're straight on the offensive line. Defensive line, spotlighted these guys real quick. Noah Wilson would probably be the most capable to play early. Maybe him or Jamari Matthews. This guy's already here. Corey Howard, big dude, right? The bandit position, you're losing our boy LT Overton, who was great, but these guys behind him should be fine. I mean, I'm going to go out and say something. I actually think, even as good as I liked, as LT Overton was, I'm going to say that Keon Keeley and Jordan Renaud elevate that bandit position. And I'm going to say that Keon Keeley is better will be better than LT Overton. I think Keon Keeley he's getting there for sure. Yes, and if you guys just missed it, yes, Wilkin Formby is in the portal. Yeah, I'll put that on the screen, I guess. You know what I might need to do is make like a breaking news banner or something like that. Especially when I'm on live and like things happen. But yeah, Formby is in the portal. We just covered that like 2 minutes ago. We're doing kind of like a roster rundown, and then I'll come back and kind of recap the news at the I don't know, here in a little bit. Right? You guys feel me on Keon Keeley? That's how I feel. I actually feel really good about the defense. The only place where I get a little bit nervous about the defense, not here. We got Noah Carter headed out. John Latham, this will be crazy. I mean, he had a neck, and he's a graduate. He's been here for 6 years, but because of his injury, He could push to come back for a 7th year. I know, but he could. Losing Noah Carter sucks. I don't like that. The wolf position next year, I've got to put the tag on Noah Carter real quick. Right here, take him off. Okay, right there. You're really good at this position. Quay Rusa, Yanze, Justin Hill, you're straight here. You'll elevate somebody else who just got here. I don't know, one of the freshmen. You're here. You're fine. But this is I'm completely good with the defense right now. Totally fine. This is where I get a little bit nervous. Is the inside backers, and I think these guys were all impactful. He had over 80 tackles. This guy was good. These guys were great. None of these guys played this year. You have no experience here. That's why you're hosting that Virginia Tech inside backer, right? None of these guys played. They're good, I'm sure, but they have no experience. So you look at 2026, you need a veteran in here. The guy who you're hosting for Virginia Tech had like 57 tackles or whatever. Who do you think out of this room, fam, is most likely to kind of, be the guy? Who do you think will turn up to be like a guy? Daryl Duke Johnson, Abdul Sanders had a really good spring. If I had to bet, I might say Abdul Sanders. So that's kind of the area that you definitely need some experience. QB Reese, yeah, he played a little bit too. He played in the springtime. What happens if a player doesn't get taken in a portal? That's a great question. I think if they don't get taken in the portal, I think they're just like a free agent. I think there's some parameters to where they can either come back, or once you're in the portal, that's just it. And all of your stuff sort of stops. Great question though. Yeah, I don't think like you can just go and like, hey, try to sell yourself, and then if nobody, takes you, I don't think you're just like, hey, I want to come back. I don't know. That's a damn good question. I think they just stay in the portal, right? That's wild. All right. What's up, Run the Table Sports? Good to see you, dog. Okay, the corner position, you saw Damani Jackson. He's out of here, right? He's leaving. You got the Cali corners, Xavier Brown, Dejon Lee, Chuck McDonald. These guys all coming back. You see what I'm saying? The defense, I'm cool with it. We figured out the inside backer position. We're straight. The corners for 2026, I don't know what will happen with this guy. Cam Calhoun, Red Morgan's really good. You put him at the Husky position. You bring in Jordan Edmonds, Zion Gibson, right? Husky, this guy's out of eligibility. Maybe Drake comes back from, his off the field stuff, right? Yeah, CC, we covered that just a minute ago with WILKIN Formby. By the way, if you're just kind of bouncing in, WILKIN Formby did hit the transfer portal, yes. 2026, the Husky position looks straight, right? We're straight with corners, Huskies. We're good on defense, really good on defense. The only thing that I'm watching right here is the safety position. So the guys that I'm really curious about is like, I guess like the juniors, right? Isaiah Horton, Parker Brailsford, and then these guys. We go back and forth on this every day. It's like, I'm like, do you think Keon Sabb and Bray will come back. You imagine if they both come back, we're straight. The entire defense is set besides the inside backer. Does Bray go? What round does Bray get drafted? Like 4th? Is he a 3rd round guy? Is Keon Sabb? Hey, Lex, I appreciate it. Thanks for the love. Yeah, I appreciate it. Right back at you, bro. I don't know. But if these guys come back, we're really good, really set on defense. Safeties, 2026, looks straight. Oh, you bring in Jariah Edwards. You have Ivan Taylor. These guys are good. And then here's your kickers as well. You lose Blake Dowd. And then Peter Nataro hit the portal. Right? So, yeah. So, let's just go back to because the biggest question right here, I see a lot of people coming in asking about the offensive line. We'll go right here. So, yeah, if you're just joining us, WILKIN Formby did just enter the transfer portal. And what I have here on this particular graphic is a list of all the linemen that played the most snaps and kind of the detail on them. So your left tackle, he's leaving. Your left guard is leaving. We don't know about the center. Jaden Roberts played right guard. He never played. He's out of eligibility. Formby hitting the portal. Michael Carroll, he's back. He's a right tackle. And then Gino Vandermark, your Swiss Army knife, he's out of eligibility. So if Parker Brailsford leaves, you're really bringing back just one offensive lineman. All right? Probably take a couple calls now. If you have questions about roster management or you want to run over a couple things, I'm cool with it. Keep a note. Like, if you're like, I want to get some new callers in. All right? So we're going to have, if you called in like yesterday, then give it a rest today. So kind of do like every other day for like different callers. So it's just not the same callers all the time. There's people that are trying to get in the call online for like weeks, and we want a different volume. And the reason for the different callers is it makes the show better. It's a lot better when we get different people calling into the show. Okay, so don't take it like as a don't love you. Like, we just need different people, different minds. That's how the show operates. Okay, so I appreciate you guys being considerate of that. And when you do call in, please note that there is also somebody on the line that wants to talk as well. So, make some points, feel comfortable, but also keep in mind, that there's also people that want to talk on the show. So with that said, let's take a couple calls, and we'll do that right now on Bama Football on YouTube. The call line is open, 205-850-1994. Whatever you want to talk about, call line is wide open, by the way. 205-850-1994. WILKIN Formby, the latest to hit the NCAA transfer portal from Alabama. I think, like, when I look back at kind of all the guys that have hit the portal, look, I get it. You guys didn't like WILKIN Formby, but losing starters at the offensive line, man, that's a tough one. It's tough to lose. It's the experience is tough to replace. And now that I've only seen kind of one guy that we were targeting, which is a center, I'm like, kind of makes me a little bit nervous for the offensive line. All right, we got our first call in, 205. Hey,
what's up, Kyle?
Hey, what's up? Happy Sunday, man. Who am I on the line with and where are you calling in from?
This Shaq from Tuscaloosa.
Shaq, what's up, bro? Welcome on in, man. Take it away.
I've been watching you for a while, my brother, and I appreciate what you're doing. I see your concern for the O-line.
Yeah.
And I see your concern, about losing so many people.
Mm-hmm.
But in my opinion, I'm a Bama fan through and through, and I got a lot of family here that's Bama fans,
mm-hmm.
and I just feel like our O-line didn't do so hot this year.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of feel like, in my opinion, we need a new coach, new blood, and, a new flow. And also, we need some help in the linebacker position. So if we could drop the bag in them two areas, like you said earlier, we set on defense. We got to have somebody to block for Austin Mack and, our bag up so they can't throw the ball if they ain't got no line. Let's drop the bag on the line and run it back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Shaq, I'm pointing this out right here on the screen now. So we have, let's count them up, the linemen that are leaving. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 offensive linemen. So are you suggesting like we get a different offensive line coach? Is that what you were saying, Shaq?
Yes, sir.
Right, because it doesn't make, like, I don't think it's realistic. You can't get rid of your offensive coordinator. He just got here. But I think you've had time to develop the offensive line. And have we seen improvements with the offensive line, over the last couple of years? I'd say no, because I think the offensive line is certainly tied to the run game, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and being that, Jam, I get it. He was a little bit banged up, but whatever running back, like, it didn't seem like we committed to the running game. It didn't seem like we could run the football at all. So I don't know. What so WILKIN Formby just went in the portal. What was your first thoughts when you heard that Formby was hitting the portal?
To be honest with you, Kyle, I had mixed feelings on that because, Formby's a home kid, home and grown.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, that's pretty much what I meant by the struggles up on the O-line. We've been struggling for the past 2 years, and to me, we just ain't got better at that position.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the key positions to, get the running game started. And not only get the running game started, but we held up decently in the past, but just barely. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. All right. Anything else you got, Shaq?
No, sir. That was about it. Appreciate you taking my call, and, I appreciate what you're doing and Roll Tide, bro.
All right, man. Take it easy, Shaq. All right. Shaq calling from T-Town. I appreciate it. 850, you up. Angel, what's up, man?
No, it's Cody from Crestview, Florida.
Cody, what's up? Cody, calm back with the slam dunk. What's up, Cody? How you doing, man? Welcome to the show.
Hey, I have ideas for you. I just pictured this when we were talking about NIL and all that stuff. You said you can't get rid of Grubb. Grubb's contract is a 2-year contract, $1 million apiece for each year plus bonuses. You can't tell me you can't get rid of a 2-year, $1 million OC. He doesn't have the board's pay grade at 90% guaranteed money. So in other cases, you could get rid of Ryan Grubb. That's not hard. Would Alabama want to get rid of Ryan Grubb? I would, because there's a bunch of other people who have better OCs right now than Ryan Grubb. Second, first part, we need a bunch of offensive lines from the portal, and I want them bad O-line guys. I don't want no poodles on my Bama squad. That's 2. 3, I just solved the NIL purposeful only. If I'm going to do NIL department for every college football player at Alabama, this is how we're going to do the NIL. When you first come to Alabama, even as a recruit, you get a bank account with your account number and everything else. But it's completely locked. You do not get your money unless you produce on the field and win titles and everything else. At the end of the session, you get your NIL. When the next cycle hits, it's automatically locked. You do the same cycle. You produce your talent. You get titles. You go to the SEC championship, and then you go on from there until you graduate. When you graduate and you go to the draft, before you go to the draft, your account at NIL is fully open, and you can get all your NIL. And once you get your NIL till the draft, it's automatically locked until the next person. So now it's lined up. It is not so distracted. So now the player does not have to be considerably, like they can produce and all that other stuff. Coach Cap has to go because Coach Cap right now does not develop the offensive line guys we need. We need bad guys, and I'm watching very, very closely on the transfer portal for offensive line guys. I'm watching very closely for coaching hires and everything else. in my opinion, Stephen M. Smith said from Touchdown Alabama, we need to fire Ryan Grubb, Coach Kapilovic, Robert Gillespie, and Coach DeBlue, and Jay Nunez, the special teams coordinator for University of Alabama. If we could get that kind of stuff, I won't mind hiring 2 NFL private trainers to become our strength and conditioning coaches. If we can get that, then we can work on all our other stuff. Thoughts about that, Kyle?
Yeah, I'll answer on the other line, Cody. Thanks for calling in as usual, bro. Appreciate it. Good to hear from you, man. Cody calling in with suggesting that kind of like a clean house. Wants to get rid of Robert Gillespie, the running backs coach, who's also the associate head football coach here. Wants to get rid of Coach Kapilovic, the offensive line coach. Wants to get rid of the special teams coach, Jay Nunez, as well. And he doesn't want no poodles on the offensive line. You've gotten rid of a ton of offensive linemen, right? I mean, it's on the board. I have it here. I'll bring it up so you guys can see it again. Kind of a really interesting stat as well. About all of the offensive linemen. If you're just joining us, yes, WILKIN Formby is transferring. He just hit the portal a few minutes ago via Pete Thamel. But here are the linemen that are leaving either because of eligibility or, maybe the NFL or the transfer portal. And we're still waiting on a decision from Parker Brailsford. But Geno Vandermark, Cam Dewberry, Jaden Roberts, Caden Proctor, I think he goes NFL, Joseph Ionita, Olas Allen, Micah DeBose, Rock Montgomery, and then just in WILKIN Formby. So, look, a lot of people want kind of an overhaul. You can't get rid of Grubb. I don't think, and Cody was kind of making sense, financially, but I think that Grubb and DeBoer are kind of like Bert and Ernie, right? You can't separate those guys. So I think you kind of go down the list and see who else that you can get rid of. From calling for, David Ballou, the strength coach. A lot of people, you know what? This is the first year that I have heard people, complaining about the strength and conditioning coach. How do you guys feel about David Ballou? When he came here from the IMG. Remember this? He came here with Dr. Matt Ray. Remember, it was like a package deal. Do you remember this? They had been at Indiana, and then they went to IMG, and then I think they came here. I don't know. That's an interesting one. A lot of people like him, but right now, after seeing how much physically imposing Indiana was, they feel different. All right, 571, let's do it. Hey, good morning. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Yeah, who am I on the line with and where are you calling in from?
How you doing, Kyle?
What's up, man?
Hey, my name is Eddie. I'm calling in from Virginia.
Eddie, what's
by
up,
way
bro?
of Alabama.
Okay, welcome to the show, Eddie. Come with it.
Hey, how you doing, man? Thanks. I listen to your program all the time, man. I want to say I really appreciate what you do. So good broadcast here. All right, so I want to get into it. I graduated from Alabama in 2013. So I got here during the time where when Saban was, first got there and we started to dominate and everything. I fully acknowledge that Coach DeBoer is pushing the program forward, albeit on paper. It doesn't feel like that, but it's, on paper, yes, pushing the program forward compared to his first year. However, 4 things for me I'm concerned about. Okay. 1, physicality, and by proxy, the mentality. When Coach Saban first got in, the mentality and the physicality of the team was top notch. Look at what Indiana did to us, like in the game a couple of days ago. I was there, by the way. It was sad. The mentality is just not there anymore, and by proxy, the physicality. Number 2, the consistency. We are not consistent. Like, you see spurts of what the team could do. You see spurts of what the defense could do. I like the defense. I do like the defense, but there is some slight inconsistency there, and I think we should tighten it up. Number 3, front 7 in the running game. I think everybody talked about that a lot. I don't necessarily want to dig into it, but I think it's kind of clear that front 7 in the running game, we need to tighten it up. And number 4, the coaching. It kind of feeds into the first 3. We need the coaches to be dogs. Coach Saban did not care about being nice to the assistant coaches. If something needed to be checked, he checked it on the spot. We need that from Coach DeBoer. He needs to probably figure out how to tune his personality a little bit to kind of fit into the Southeast. And lastly, I would say Keelan over Mac. I'm not really a fan of how Mac throws the ball. He seems to throw it sometimes in a downward angle that may be because of his height. But I think I want Keelan over Mac. That's all I have for you, bro.
Yeah. Hey, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. I'll answer on the other line, man. Thanks for calling in from Virginia, man. Yeah, I think, listening to, callers the last couple of days and kind of getting a feel for, where users have been that are historically Alabama fans. And, this was a perfect caller. Like, Eddie was, like, fully here when Coach Saban was just running things. And, look, you can't compare anybody to Saban, but in terms of, like, the mentality and how the players are playing, this was really the first time that I've seen somebody – like really physically impose their will into, like, Alabama was not the alpha in that matchup. And like usually Alabama gets off the bus, that's the case, right? You're just like, oh man, like now people I think are circling Alabama on the schedule because I feel that's a brand opportunity for them. They could take advantage of Alabama or at least go toe to toe with them because let's face it, they're still the measuring stick. And now Indiana with them, embarrassing Alabama, they feel, hey, we're here. Look, we proved it. We just beat Alabama. And it does start up top. And you do look at the mentality of the head football coach. How does that trickle down into the players that have that dog mentality go in? Because Saban, he still has it. He still has it. All right, 971.
Yo, Kyle, can you hear me? This T-Dub out of Oregon, brother.
Hey, what's up, man?
I got a 256.
Yeah. Boost the audio just a little bit, man. I'll give you a second.
Is that better?
Yeah, try. Yeah, what'd you say your name was?
Way of Limestone County, 256.
All right, man. Yeah, I'm sorry, I just missed your name, but go ahead, man. Come with it. Welcome to the show.
Hey, check this out, brother. So, my biggest question is, what is Grubbs like? What is his offense? Is it a West Coast? Is it power? Is it a heavy zone? Like, feel like we got different linemen for different. You know what I'm saying? We got a small center who's pretty quick, but we got big Caden on the left side, 370. You know what I'm saying? I just like I don't know if we don't have the players for a system or what, but it was looking pathetic this whole year. You know what I'm saying? Us to have out of the studs on the O-line and in the backfield and like all the other callers been saying, brother, like, okay, how are we ranked last in the SEC? Like, below Mississippi State and Kentucky and all these? Like, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? And then another thing, I'm starting to grow on Kane Womack and his defense. I just feel like the zone heavy defense is good, brother, if we got pass rushers, but if we couldn't get to the quarterback this year. You know what I'm saying? So if we can't do that, and then the quarterback just got time, he just patting it back there, waiting for these cats to sit in zones. You know what I'm saying? It's just a recipe for disaster. And we try to go Superman heavy against Indiana, and you can't do that in a week, 2 week time. You see everybody was just turning their back, and Mendoza was getting 12, 16 on every long third down. He would just run, get out of bounds, nobody would touch him. So I think it's a philosophy standpoint. I ain't really too not on the fire the coach's bandwagon. Of course, the offensive line coach got to do better, but so we just got to get the right scheme for the players that we have. Like, you can't be too stubborn to want to run your scheme and you ain't got the players for your scheme. And that's what they get paid the big bucks for. So I'd like to hear your opinion on that, brother. I appreciate you.
Yeah, man. Thank you. I'll answer on the other line, man. I appreciate the call from out west. I think when you look to Ryan Grubb and kind of like what is his identity as an offensive play caller, this is the thing that is so confusing for me, fam, is like we keep going back a couple years ago when he was at Washington and he did have a 1,200-yard rusher, right? That time they were very balanced because Washington was spinning the ball with Michael Penix Jr. as well. But I think the last 2 years are what is really concerning to me. I mean, you look how good the Seattle Seahawks are once they got rid of him. You look to how Alabama's offense went backwards as soon as we got Ryan Grubb. I was on like there was no one more happy. You should hear some of the things I was saying in the preseason about Ryan Grubb. I was like, this is the guy that Coach Saban wanted, right? But is this the guy that Saban wanted. He might have had a metamorphosis himself over the last 2 years and completely gone away from the run game. Do you have the personnel? I think he was also asking is like, do you have the personnel to facilitate, the type of offense that Alabama wants to run? That's a good question. And this is my question to you, fam. Do you think Alabama's offense will look drastically different with Keelan Russell running the show or Austin Mack? Think about that. Because he still does not have a quarterback that they recruited here. They didn't. I know that might get exhausting to hear, but he didn't recruit Milroe and he didn't recruit Ty Simpson. But Pat Nelly's perfectly says it, man. Stop. What was the saddest thing, Pat? Is, what, fam? Was when Alabama was getting completely trounced and they ran that triple reverse pass. That was so sad. That's how we have to move the ball. No, you never, I'm against gadgets. You know how I feel about this. But the very last time you run a gadget is not on 4th and 1. And you don't do it when you're getting your teeth kicked in. You don't run a play like that. Come on. And if every play is going, I hate to say this too. If every play is going through Kalen DeBoer's headset and I hear triple reverse or whatever they call it, I'm saying no. No. We're not doing that. Look at the scoreboard. It's humiliating. No, we're not doing that. Call something else. Am I right? All right. 704. Hey, what's up? You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who in line with him? Where are you calling him from?
Hey, what's going on, Kyle? This is Nick from South Carolina. How you doing, man?
Nick, what's up, bro? Thanks for being here, man. I appreciate you joining the program.
Hey, man, I appreciate everything you do. I catch your show every chance I get. Listen, man, I'm not one of these jump on the fire DeBoer, fire Grubb, fire anybody thing, But I think we're looking at a lot of different schematics, and I don't think that's really the problem, man. You look at Grubb and you say, oh, look at what he did at Seattle, yada, yada, yada. He can't run the ball. I don't think it's a matter of, him wanting to run the ball or not. He can't. And that's a matter of mental toughness. When I think about, lining up in front of guys and running the ball, I see that as a mental toughness thing, and if you look throughout the whole entire season, every game that we came out and got punched in the mouth, we crumbled. You look at the first Georgia game when we went to Athens, we beat them, but we started really fast. The second time we played Georgia, they came out and they punched us in the mouth, and we just couldn't recover from it. And I think that's a testament of mental toughness. You look along the line, Caden Proctor, he's one of the best linemen in the country. 6'7", he's massive.
Yeah.
But our offensive line's getting bullied every single game. That's not a matter of talent. That's not a matter of scheme. That's a matter of mental toughness. That's a matter of some other team wants it more than you. They're tougher than you. They're going to line up in front of you. They don't care what you look like. They don't care how many stars you have. They're going to force their will, impose their will on you because they're tougher than you.
I'm sorry, man. I have to interrupt you. You're making a great point right now, but hey, fam, I hate to tell you this. You're not going to like this one. Keon Keeley is entering the transfer portal. Keon Keeley is entering the transfer portal. Yeah.
Yikes.
Why don't you go ahead and cover that? Why? Okay, you talk about Keon Keeley entering the transfer portal. Why I get this up to social media?
Well, listen, man, the Keon Keeley, and here's the thing, everybody's looking at the transfer portal. This person's leaving, that person's leaving, this person's leaving. It's not a talent problem for Alabama. You lose a guy, another guy comes in. I have no doubt that Kalen DeBoer will have a talented roster by next season. I have no doubt. He's done it every year he's been here. That's never been the problem. And in my opinion, scheming has never been a problem. I mean, it's a wonder that, you get into the Final 8 without a run game at all. That's a testament to scheming. Again, I go back to it's a mental toughness thing. When you line up in front of, another team like Indiana, who's significantly less talented than you, significantly smaller than you, and they bully you, that's a mindset thing, man. That's not a schematic thing. I mean, it's just my opinion. You know, I love Alabama. I've watched Alabama my whole life. But to me, that's a mental toughness thing. That's I'm going to force my will upon somebody else, period. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you look like, period. And that's what Saban was so good at. You know, and a lot of people do the whole Saban comparison thing. When Saban was our coach, there was no question at all that when Alabama showed up, you were going to have to beat them, period. I mean, with Alabama, it's like, oh, we just punch them in the mouth real early, and they'll just throw in the towel. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. I watched them all season.
All right, buddy. Well, I appreciate it, man.
That's all I got, man.
Yeah, keep calling in, man. That was a good dialogue, man. It's just you called during some crazy times. Thanks for covering for me right there as news happens. I appreciate it, bro. Thank you so much. All right.
I appreciate it,
yeah.
Kyle.
Fam, okay, so a lot of movement right here. Okay, we're going to update the board together. You're not going to like this, what I'm about to show you. But we cover news as it happens. Rico Scott is also in the portal. So what we're going to do is we're going to add Keon Keeley to the board as well, okay? He's a bandit. I was just hyping him up. I just said that he would be better. And Rico Scott as well. Wow. Holy cow. We're going to have to create another graphic. All right. So these are some new additions. So I'm going to do the editing, and then I'll give you kind of, we'll put some new tags on these right here. New. We'll do text red. Oh, my God. I don't like these latest additions. The other ones, I wasn't too mad about. I don't really like what's going on with these last three. These were like three kind of and look, I know the whole WILKIN Formby thing. He's got experience. Man, I don't know how I feel about this one. All right, let me get this updated, and then we'll continue to discuss. And I'll take your calls. Just hang on. All right. Okay, so here's a look at the big board right now in terms of transfers. All right, so the newest updates are on. We got WILKIN Formby. We got Keon Keeley, okay, here at the bottom. And we got Rico Scott. And I know, the thing about it is the last two were definitely, I think the last two hurt the most, right? You guys feel me there? Keon Keeley hurts. Like that one sucks. The other ones, I can talk you guys off, okay? I'm like, all right, we straight. We're going to be good. Don't worry. But Keon Keeley, oh, man. That's, what would you say Keon Keeley is on a gut punch on like a scale of 1 to 10? I'm going to say that one's close to 10 for me. Shoot, man. Yikes. I'm sorry. I just don't like that one. Let me get up the Rico Scott one real quick on social media. Shoot, I'm glad I've been live for all this stuff. Jeez. We're going to have to go through and continue to do the roster management. We might be, and callers, hang on tight. I'll be right with you guys. Just give me 1 second while I update this as well. Crazy. All right, let's get up a graphic real quick on Rico Scott, and then I'll take you guys' next calls. But to recap, the latest three that have been on since we've been on for an hour and 30 minutes, WILKIN Formby, Keon Keeley, and Rico Scott. You could see the names at the bottom indicated with red text. So give me 1 second while I update this, and then away we go, okay? Callers, hang tight. I appreciate you guys. And like I said, I do pay for the phone line, so your guys' super chats help for the phone line too. Thank you. Oh, man. I'm not really feeling the last two, to be honest. I was kind of hoping that there might be some way you keep Rico Scott, but you know what? Maybe that might open a little bit more room for Cam Coleman, right? All right, 1 second. Rico Scott. Oh, man, not good. All right. Okay. All right. Sorry about that, fam. All right, let's go to the phone lines. Thanks for being patient. 631 coming up. Hey, thanks for calling.
What's going on, Kyle? How you doing?
What's up, man? Who am I on the line with and where are you calling in from?
Anthony from New York, man. What's going on, brother?
Anthony, what's up, bro? Welcome on in, man.
Oh man, bad timing, right, with the Keon Keely, man. That definitely does. That one is definitely the 10 for the gut punch for sure. I'm in agreement with that, man, for sure. That one sucks. So I'll start there. I kind of want to ask you a few questions. I'll start with that one. Do you think that's more? Is it just playing time? Is it coaching? Because all these players leaving, this is kind of like the world we live in. But when you have players of that stature leaving, it just gets my mind going. Of is it something going on within coaching that they just feel like they're not getting developed, or you think it's just more of like just playing time?
I think, Anthony, I appreciate you calling in, and thank you so much for the super chat just a minute ago. That was Alex. Thank you so much. I think it's interesting with Keon Keeley because as I just said, Keon Keeley, come here. Come say hi. You say hi to everybody?
Hi.
Here.
I just got out of the shower. Hi.
What's up?
Bye.
Hey, real quick. There's food for you. So you have a sweet potato, and then there's some of the stuff we had last night. Just warm it up, okay? Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you, fam. Father first, right? Got to make sure the kids are fed.
Yes. Be good. I got my 7-month-old too, so I'm new to the game.
100%.
Yeah.
So would you agree with me, undefeated, inside the comment box, that Keon Keeley would have absolutely been the man here this next season? I just said, I was just hyping him up. That's what that kind of hurts me because I think somebody with his talent, remember, he came over as an outside linebacker and then transitioned into the position that he plays now, which is bandit, which I think fits him very well. He's a big dude, can fit on the frame. He looks great. I think he would have been better than LT Overton. I don't know why somebody like that is leaving. I don't know. The only thing that I could think is he got some sort of monster offer that maybe you couldn't match. Because he's been here for a minute. He's a redshirt. He's been here for 3 seasons, and finally, this next LT Overton's gone. It's you. You're the guy. I think that hurts. So, and then Rico Scott. I know you didn't ask me about him, but my thoughts on Rico Scott leaving is, man, Rico Scott, I think will be a talented wide receiver anywhere. You run 23 miles an hour. Didn't get opportunities here. I think he's a guy, but maybe that opens up a door because when you look to all the wide receivers that left, maybe somehow you can get. I mean, you got to get some wide receivers to come in. Maybe you can get a Cam Coleman, but receivers want to be fed. The Rico Scott one is disappointing as well, but I don't know, man. What else you got, Anthony?
So I agree with Rico Scott too. So I just want to give you my whole analogy on what's going on. So the caller before, great caller. Other people call and say they're not really calling for the calling of people jobs. Well, I'm the complete opposite, right? And when it comes to doing your job at any other job, if you're not doing your job and producing, it's not personal. You got to go. You got to produce. And when it comes to the point that you were making with the whole gadget plays and everything like that. That's just not Alabama football. And for me personally, I've watched Alabama football for a long, long time, and I don't really like the direction that we're going in. As far as the bore, I'm kind of on the fence. I'm not totally against it, but the Deontay Lawson interview kind of shed a little bit light onto what I already thought was going on and what I know needs to be fixed, or it's really not going to work out. He was getting interviewed and he was talking about how, DeBoer's, you know, he's getting emotional. DeBoer's like a good guy. He's a nice guy. And there's no problem being a nice guy, but in certain professions and certain situations, you can't really be the nice guy. And I think that's the problem, and it's a trickle-down effect because whatever you're into, whatever's at the top is going to be a trickle-down effect to the rest of the, the organization or whatever you're involved in. And it shows because the physicality is not there. It hasn't been there for a while, you know, and that stems from the top. So for me personally, like the defensive line, you know, offensive line needs to be more physical. We need to get after the quarterback. If you look at the teams that are in the field now, they have dudes that can get after the quarterback. You know, I don't know the situation. Maybe you could fill me in off air when I'm done about the Jeremy Pruitt. I would love to get Jeremy Pruitt in here. I don't know what's going on with Sam Pittman. You know, I know he got fired from Arkansas, but as far as like offensive line coach, just a mean dude and mean in a good way, right? Like just, you know, mean, like telling you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear type of mean, because Alabama's got an identity thing going on right now, and it just shows from the play calling to just getting embarrassed. Like I've never seen anything. I watched the entire game too.
Yeah.
You know, I watched it from the beginning to the end. You know, and I've never seen anything like that in Alabama. We've gotten beaten, but that I've never seen anything like that. So for me, it's an identity thing. And it stems from the people that are in the building. Not to say that I'm not on the board. I just think it needs to be. He needs to get a better coaching staff around him, because what's going on right now as far as, you know, offense coordinator, you know, defense coordinator. Womack's not the worst guy, but it's just, you know, I don't know, run fits with corners, you know, not being in gaps yeah, you got to produce and execute on the field, but at the end of the day, you got to be coached that. And you know, if you're not producing that, you know, if you're not being coached that, then it's going to show on the field. So at the end of the day, for me personally, I just think that they have an identity crisis, and I think they need a real overhaul on the staff. You got to fire people. You got to get people in there, you know, that have that Alabama mentality, that know Alabama. You bring in guys from across the country and over here, and it's not Alabama. It's not Alabama. It's not down south. It's not SEC football. When you look at the Georgias, when you look at all these other teams, even Tennessee teams, when they're hitting, like we don't hit like we used to anymore. Like few people, you know, pads popping and stuff like that. But as far as, you know, the physicality and the hitting and the tackling and the want to and the getting after the quarterback and the pride and all that's gone. And you know, it was on display with the Rose Bowl. That's all I got to say. I'll take your response off there, but I appreciate you.
All right, thanks, Anthony. I take it easy, dog. All right, 865 and 346. You're up next. I appreciate you guys being here. Bama Football on YouTube. The latest news is out as I got to stand up real quick. Let me just do a quick transition because I've been sitting for too long. The latest news, you got all the transfers on board. Someone count them up for me real quick. What do you guys think? What is it? What are we at? Locking my desk so I could stand. I got one of those desks that you could like kind of go up and down. Just because, you know, I could do like the different shows and stuff like that. But now I feel better standing. Man, you know, I work out a lot, and my I'm having a left hammy, man. So trying to all right, here we go. 865. I think we got Angel. Angel, what's up, man?
What's up?
How you doing, bro? Welcome to the show. What were you thinking when Keon Keeley hit the portal?
Upset, devastated, because, you know, he was supposed to be the guy next year, and you know, money talks for sure. And, you know, getting their ass kicked in the Rose Bowl was not fun, and it's embarrassing. It's bad for the program, the brand. I mean, Coach DeBoer, man, he looks like he's soft right now. And as a fan myself, I think we got to get some more coaches down here that are SEC proven. Like this Pac-12, you know, Midwest. I get Saban was a Midwest guy himself, but at the same time, you got to have more SEC guys. This whole Pac-12 offense is not working, and we had it for the last 2 seasons now, and it's not working. And I believe the board needs to get an overhaul on most of the staff except for Ken Womack. But man, if Grubb stays, and you know, and the board tells him he's got one more chance, then he's gonna have to stop doing gadget plays and run the ball. That's how Bama used to be before, Saban in the last few years, decided to get a quarterback because, he knew the time was ticking. So I think we got to get back to that, back to basics and, football to where it's simple and basic, no flashy. Like, this is what killed us was the flashy 4th and 2 play that did not work because Signetti knows he's not stupid. Same thing with, Ty Simpson fumble. Like, players now, they just don't want to, stay for the hard work, It's all about the money now. And I get it. That's fine. But it's the ridiculous amounts of money and guarantees that's the problem. And there's no guardrails, of course. But, what I saw in that Rose Bowl was a pure embarrassment. I don't want to do that again. And it sucks. But, the board's going to have to get something together because this staff ain't working. And I believe in the players. It's not the players' issue. It's probably either the scheme or coaches being too relaxed. Like playing music, get that out of here. We got to go back to basic Alabama football and hire coaches or former Bama players to inject new life into this program because right now it's falling apart. Like Nick Saban built it, and now the board is pissing it away, basically. And, like, he's too nice. Like, I get it. You're supposed to be nice when you're nice, but, like, you got to put your foot down because this is not any job. This ain't Washington. This is Alabama. This is not a program where you should take lightly. I don't know why he said that in his interview, but right now it looks like he's taking it lightly because these players, man, they think they got this money now and they're like, they don't really care anymore. That's sad because when a couple of years ago, we had players, they cared. Like when Bryce Young or Anderson played in the bowl game and we got left out of the playoffs that year, again, when we lost to LSU that year, like they didn't complain. They said, it sucks we're not in the playoffs, but you know what? We're going to create value for yourself because that's what you do down the line because they didn't complain. But now these players, they're all prima donnas and, like, it sucks because I do believe this team can come back from all that. But it's going to take a lot of work from these coaches and players and everyone together, including the board himself. He's going to have a sit down with all these coaches and everything. And some of them ain't perform well. They got to go. And Ty Simpson, he was great, but he was not built for this offense. And we got to change up the offense because this offense ain't working. Like, I'm not gonna be upset, I'm not one of those people like I'm gonna rage, but like when I call it out, I want to call it out and see it how it is because this is ridiculous. Like, this is the past 2 seasons now we've had issues on offense. Defense, they tried in the second year, they picked it up. Now it's the offense. This year was the offense's fault, and Ryan Grubb himself. I mean, I like Ryan Grubb as a person, but man, he's coaching Billy right now. He's just not it. He's not built for SEC. And I just really think, we got to move on from Ryan Grubb, get some coaches in here, like Sam Pittman. SEC coaches, man, they're better than the Pac-12. But anyway, Kyle, I don't want to take up too much time, but the bottom line is we got to make some changes, big changes. And it starts up to the top with the board because if he wants to stay at his job and be serious, then he's going to have to make those sacrifices if he wants to win a championship or more and create his own legacy. But anyway, Kyle, roll tide. Love y'all.
Yep, no too, bro. Thanks for calling, man.
Hopefully we can recover from this offseason. Roll tide.
Yep, take it easy. All right, Angel out in Pigeon Forge, 346-256. You guys are up next. I appreciate it. And then 502 up in the tank. And thank you so much for kicking in with us right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Let's get to a super chat real quick. Levi says, Keon hurts, but if you look at everyone else on this list besides Noah and Micah, Coach DeBoer didn't recruit them, so I expect them to leave that truly don't fit the system. Interesting point. Yeah, I'll have to kind of look at that. I appreciate that and definitely appreciate the super chat. Let's kind of run over the transfer portal if you're just popping in. You're seeing the news headlines out there, news as it happens right here on Bama Football on YouTube. I appreciate you guys being here. The lower right-hand side is the newer players that have hit the NCAA transfer portal: Wilkin Formby, Keon Keeley, Rico Scott. all starters. I mean, Wilkin Formby was a starter this year at the right guard position. Keon Keeley was a starter at some point when LT Overton did go down, and then Rico Scott. At one point he started. Someone went down, right, and he started, but he wasn't a starting wide receiver. But I do feel kind of upside. I have a question for you inside the comment box as we continue to track the transfers and take your calls right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Who would you say, like 1 through 3, 1 through 4, are the most impactful losses? Let's face it. I mean, Bubba Hampton, not a loss. Jalen Hell, we love him, love his story. We thank God that he's good. Not necessarily a loss. Jalen Mbakwe, you kind of wonder. I mean, let's not get it twisted. The guy's an incredible athlete. Who knows? I'll always wonder about that, right? Joseph Anada, backup center. I like offensive line. I don't like to lose offensive linemen. Cam Howard, not a loss. Noah Carter, a loss. Big time development down the road. I think he's already good. Olas Allen, same thing, pretty good. Kind of a reserve. Richard Young, not a loss. Rock Montgomery, not a loss. Peter Nataro, not a loss. Micah DeBose, maybe so. Cole Adams, not really. Love the kid. Who's going to return punts now? Wilkin Formby, I don't know. Hometown guy, like Shaq was saying earlier. We like our guys, especially right out of Northridge. Great family, great dude. I don't know. Maybe not a loss, but I mean, he does have experience. Keon Keeley, I think a big loss. That's the first one that is like, whoa. That's a big one. Rico Scott, I don't know. Maybe so. So I got Keon Keeley, Noah Carter, I don't know, maybe Jalen Mbakwe, Rico Scott, something like that. That's how I have them listed. What about you? Let me know inside the comment box. And thanks for the super chat. We got Levi again says, DeBoer didn't say this last meeting that you got to start over from scratch and get the right guys. So this may be what he's talking about. Interesting. How many portal entries are we going to go up to? We're at 15 right now. Okay, how about this, fam? Do we go over 20? Will we go over 20? Yes or no for transfer portals? Will we go for over 20? Kind of feels that way right now. 346. Hey, thanks for calling in. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson.
Hey, Kyle, how's it going?
Jay, what's up, bro? I appreciate you calling in from Pensacola or via Pensacola anyways, man. What's up, bro? Come with it. What'd you think when Keon Keeley hit the portal?
Kyle, I'm not going to lie to you. Keon hurt.
Yeah.
Rico hurt to me. It's like, how many receivers are we down to now? Like,
man.
Well, we got 3. I mean, Ryan Williams, Crowell, and who else do we have left?
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of them are leaving.
Mm-hmm.
Like I want to know what's going on internally. Like are they having these talks with DeBoer before entering the portal?
Yeah.
I think Rico could have been the guy, and I do know Keon Keeley was up next. I do know that. So that one kind of confused me on why he in the portal.
So, Jay, our portal wide receivers are Cole Adams, Rico Scott, Jalen Hell, and Jalen Mbakwe. So your starters for the 2026 season are Ryan Williams, Lazier Brooks, Derek Meadows, and Cedarian Morgan. Is that right? We got 4 wide receivers.
Yeah, that's it. That's how we got 4. That is crazy.
Oh man, shoot. Who goes?
If Ryan happened to go down, we're gonna be in trouble. Or last year go down, we're gonna be in trouble.
They gotta be. Something has to be happening. Look, it'll be uplifting, and we get Cam or something like that. But still, you're still light on receivers, right? What are we doing here? That's a lot of guys in the portal from the receiver position.
That's a lot, Kyle. That's a lot.
Oh man. But someone's saying inside the comment box that kind of clearing out some money for Cam Coleman. That could be true. Can you imagine? You get in, because I think fans would be really happy if you get Cam Coleman and you kind of got rid of some of those other guys. Because let's face it, I think Bach was making a ton of money. I don't know about Rico Scott or whatever, but maybe you're trying to free some stuff up so you can get a big dog like Cam.
I would hope so. I mean, I do feel like he'll be a good impact, but we also need more linemen because we got a freshman coming in.
Mm-hmm.
So who's there left on the linemen? Like, we got. I don't know if Parker Russell coming back, and we got Michael Carroll. Like, we need offensive linemen.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I want to ask you this, Tyler. I know he's not going to fire Grub. So that's off the table. Everybody can keep talking about it they want to, but it's not going to happen. Especially after year one, it's not going to happen. But who do we go for? Is he going to fire Coach Cap? Is he going to fire Robert Gillespie? Like, because let's be honest, he hasn't produced a good running back since when?
I mean, was he here with Gibbs? I think he was, right? But I mean, who could take credit?
Yeah, he was here with Gibbs.
But I mean, Gibbs is going to be
with skill already.
I could have coached Gibbs. I'd be like,
right, exactly.
I don't know how much coaching up he needed, right?
Right.
Here's your offensive line.
I mean, we need a running back coach. We need a running back coach, and we need a O-line coach.
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah.
So offensive lineman, that's Michael DuBose. I think he would have been up and coming. I didn't talk about Montgomery at the beginning of the season. He made a lot of noise, but did nothing.
Who was that?
Me.
Who was that, Jay?
Montgomery, Rob Montgomery.
Oh yeah, dude. He never played.
He talked a lot of noise.
He never played.
He talked a lot of noise.
Yeah.
Never played.
Never played. Man, yeah, who's that? MIA for sure, man. All right, Jay, but I appreciate you calling in, man. Thanks. Always good to hear your voice, bro. And we'll catch you next time, bro.
Here's your cow. God's the greatest of late.
There it is, bro. Love you too, man. All right, God is the greatest. That's Jay's closeout. That's his thing, you know. All right, 256. Let's do it. Hey, you're on the line with Kyle Henderson. We're talking Alabama therapy. Go ahead, state your name and where you're calling in from.
Hey, Kyle, this is Ken in North Alabama. How you doing, bud?
Hey, what's up, Ken? How you doing, bud? Good to hear from you. Northern Alabama, I love it up there. Yeah.
North Alabama. I'm in Mount Hope, Alabama, right outside of Moulton.
Yeah, I took my daughter up to camp up in, you know where Mentone is?
I sure do.
Yeah, so took her up there for camp in the summertime, and that whole area, I talked about openly my love for Lake Gunnersville. I played Goose Pond sometimes, golf, and then going up to Mentone. It is so beautiful up there. It kind of reminds me of back home in New Mexico, kind of up in the mountains. So, big fan of Northern Alabama.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, anyways, Ken, welcome to the show. I appreciate it. Yeah, come with it.
Yeah, that's in the eastern side of the state. We're over on the western side.
Okay.
Most of the shows, Florence area, down around the river.
Yep. Oh, that area is beautiful too. I played Fighting Joe, Schoolmaster, and I love.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, in that area when you're up.
Yeah.
I forget which golf course it is, but you can see the river running right through it, behind it from the clubhouse.
Yeah.
It is breathtaking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's Joe Wheeler. That's Schoolmaster.
Yeah, and that's a hard course too. So, but
you got that right. Play it all the time.
Holy cow!
Well, listen, I'm needing some therapy over here, brother.
All right, this is what it is.
No, listen, I go back. I'll try to keep it short. I know you got a lot of people wanting to call in, but I go back to sitting in Legion Field watching Suge Jordan play Bear Bryant. So. That's how long I've been following Alabama football.
Okay.
And I tell you, I'm going to agree with some of the callers that's called in recently. Being realistic, there's no way that we can get rid of the Boer. Not at this point of the game, not right now. Who would we get and where would we go, But there needs to be some changes. I mean, major, drastic changes made. Grubb needs to go. Offensive line coach needs to go. Strength and conditioning needs to go. If we had to hang on to Womack, that's fine. But there's just so much to bring in and to talk about and see that's wrong. And, I'm from the corporate background, so yeah, I've hired friends, but I've also had to fire friends. And I think the board's going to have to step up and look at what's good for Alabama football. This friendship thing and all this, Grubb's just not getting it done, Kyle.
Yep.
And it's a pitiful take. Recruiting, I hear that a lot, and yes, we have done very well on recruiting, but honestly, I think a lot of that goes to the standpoint of we're still riding on the scripted A. We're still riding on the fact that we are Alabama, but that faded some last year, and I'm telling you, after the Rose Bowl, it just about packed up and left town. And this thing of, come to us because we're Alabama is quickly going to be fading away if we don't do something quick and do something fast. I think there should have been some coaching changes already being made this weekend, but we've seen nothing. And I'm really not a pessimist, I'm more of an optimist. But when I look at things, it's like playing the violin when the Titanic's going down. I mean, you look at where we are and what we've brought. I think personally, player development is terrible. Player development is far from where we need it to be, and it's not a good situation where we are right now. And I'm willing to say, was DeBoer my favorite? Absolutely not. But who wants to follow Nick Saban, right? I remember Ray Perkins following Bear Bryant. Well, who wants to be in those positions? But the thing about it is, that's tough, and you've got to hand it to him for being willing to step into that spot and being willing to step into that kind of glass house. But it's time to not only step in, but it's time to step up. And some things have got to be made. When you talk to great football coaches, you listen to old interviews of Bear Bryant, recent interviews of Nick Saban, they always say one thing: it's because I surrounded myself with great coaches. And coaching schemes and this sort of thing, when you surround yourself with great coaches, that's the secret. And if you surround yourself with coaches that are subpar, well, because you're the head man, it's going to reflect all on you, and that's a bad look. I hate to see some of these guys. I hate to see Scott. I hate to see a lot of these guys going into the portal. But there's some things going on there. Players aren't happy. They don't feel like they're being developed, Kyle. That's what I feel.
Good call, Ken. I appreciate you calling in from Northwest Alabama. Maybe next time I get out there, we'll hit the links.
Oh, I'd love to.
Yeah, we'll hit some golf balls into that. Hit some golf balls into that river. Appreciate you calling in. All right, see you, Ken.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, take it easy.
Okay,
right.
Bye.
Yo, those are tough courses. Anybody out there played Schoolmaster Fighting, Joe? Man, I remember going out there. I love golf just as much as the next guy. And, there was bunkers guarding bunkers. It was crazy. Yeah, tough courses. All right, yeah, there's some good fishing out there too. All right, that's what's up. Yeah, look, Northeast Alabama, Northwest. I'm serious. I've been around. I'm starting to travel, more Alabama over the last, years that I've lived here. 10 years now. So I've gone all over. I mean, whether it's L.A. or down in Dothan or like wherever it is, Northeast, wherever. I've had good times, good experiences. All right, 502, let's do it. Hey, welcome to the show. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with and where are you calling in from?
Hey, Kyle. This is Mike from Kentucky, man. How you doing, brother?
Hey, Mike. What's up, man? I appreciate you calling in. Welcome to the Titanic. So we got a couple hours left before they say it's gone over the holes, and we're playing, just like Ken was saying, they're playing the violin before we go down. Wedding dance. Chop, chop. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. So we got a couple hours. We're going to dress in our best and go down like gentlemen, I guess.
I reckon. Yeah, man, where do you start? I think Grubb I don't think his offense fits the SEC. I mean, it doesn't matter who's the offensive coordinator, to tell you the truth. As bad as our O-line play has been, And it ain't just been this year and last year. It was before. Our O-line ain't been up to stuff now going on about 4 or 5 years, bro. And all my boys played O-line in high school. And let me tell you something, bro. If the O-line don't work, it don't matter who you got carrying the rock, and it don't matter who you got dropping back. If the O-line don't work, nothing works. That brings us to NIL. If anybody deserves north of $500,000 or more, it's the big uglies, because that's where the game's won and lost.
Yeah.
If you got the right O-line, you don't have to have a superstar running back. If you got a good 3-star running back that's 6'3", 240 pounds, can get the job done. I think they need to reevaluate who's getting this NIL money. And to tell you the truth, I don't think you should even get NIL money as a freshman coming into college. I don't think you should be eligible for it. Because you give a 17, 18-year-old kid $500,000, what are you going to be able to tell him? Nothing. He ain't going to listen to a word you got to say, bro. If I had $500,000 when I was 18, my dad, he'd have had to black my eye to get me to do something. I mean, that's crazy. To give a kid that young and that inexperienced that kind of money is a formula for disaster, and it's proven true. It's proven true, bro. You know, I think that the strength coach, it seems like since we lost Cochran, we don't grind people into a fine powder by the fourth quarter like we used to. You know, schools are, they're towing the line in the fourth quarter against us, and it's been that way ever since Cochran left. This sports science, yoga teaching, what I don't know what he's doing with these kids. They ain't lifting no heavy steel. It looks like to me like they're playing yoga or practicing yoga or something. I don't know, man. Alabama used to be hard-nosed football. People hated to play us because they knew what was coming, and it just ain't like that no more.
Let me read off. Let me read off some stats. Maybe this will jog your mind right here. Okay. The most concerning, I think, area right now, besides people bailing out at we're up to 15 right now in the portal. Keon Keeley probably the most impactful, clearly, but Bama ranked 15th out of 16th in SEC in terms of running the football. Jam Miller ran for 504, which was the lowest since 1990. I get it, he was injured, but still, the number is what it is. 23 yards rushing against Indiana, 28 against Oklahoma, -3 against Georgia. No 1,000-yard running back since 2021. And does Bama really want to run the ball, right? Commit to running the ball. And I think that's kind of where a lot of the issues kind of stem from, about that this team was fully one-dimensional this year. Plus, Ty Simpson, he was playing on basically one leg, according to the Tuscaloosa News, right?
Yeah, he made a bad mistake in that game when he had the first down. Why didn't he slide?
Yeah.
He took himself out of the game, got dinged up. I was really disappointed. I mean, that was the beginning of the end right there, that play. But I'd hate to see him go to Tennessee and score 42 against us next year.
Do you think what do you think he's going to do, Mike?
I don't know. I don't think he's going to get the evaluation he's looking for going into the pros, and it's not his fault. Or maybe the NFL scouts can look past that. Considering the line he played behind. I mean, look how many times Bryce Young got sacked one year. He got sacked 42, 43 times one year. So, I mean, our O-line ain't been up to snuff for a while, man, and that's the biggest problem we have, bro. Yeah. The O-line don't work. Nothing works.
Yeah.
And we haven't had a true meat eater on the D-line. We haven't had a Deron Payne or
not even a Christian Barmore. Yeah. Right.
We haven't even had an Isaiah Buggs.
You're right. You really haven't. Yeah. Come to think about it. I mean, there's a big difference between even like LT Overton and Isaiah Buggs, or like a Christian Barmore. Barmore, that guy, you don't know, he might get kicked out of the game. Right, he's from the bad side of Philadelphia. Those are the type of guys you need. So, wow.
Yeah, we need kids that are hungry, And when you give a kid $500,000 before he even makes a starting rotation, he ain't hungry no more. And that makes coaching impossible in my book. I'd hate to be a coach right now.
Yeah,
it's crazy. I don't even have my hopes up, to get that Coleman kid out of Auburn at all. Yeah. Considering our O-line. I mean, how's he going to get the ball? If I was him, I'd be trying to go to Ohio State or, somewhere. I'd research and do some research. I'd find a team that's got an O-line. That's where I'd go because he ain't going to get the ball very much the way our O-line's playing. I don't care how good he is.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, I guess that's all I got, Kyle. I mean, we got our butts whipped really bad, but it'll grow back.
Yep, that's right.
We'll get them next year. Roll Tide, brother.
Take it easy, Mike. All right, Mike out in Kentucky, good call. Yeah, Alabama has currently 5 wide receivers. In case you've been like trying to track it or you're like trying to figure out, where we stand, a couple things. Number one, before I get to the wide receivers, the latest on Ty Simpson, and this started, maybe, I don't know, 2 hours ago when we started the program. This is according to Pete Nakos of On3, says that no decision has been made yet. That's according to Peter Webb, who's Ty Simpson's agent, about Simpson's NFL future at this point in time. The rumor out there, or at least, some observations by some NFL I think it was a 24/7 analyst that said if he doesn't get a first-round draft grade, he would go to Oregon or to Tennessee. I know that he would just transfer out altogether. So we're tracking that. So no decision on Ty Simpson. And then right now it's kind of been a sea of transfer portal guys that have hit out. Starting last night, you had Cole Adams, Jalen Mbakwe hit the portal right away, Rico Scott, and then also Jalen Hell. So you only have 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Scholarship wide receivers. And, of course, Jerry Bernard will bounce out as well. So that's kind of the wide receivers. And we don't know what Isaiah Horton is going to do yet either. And then the full list in terms of who's actually transferring, I'll get that pulled up here in just a second because there's been a ton of movement within the last hour. The last 3 to hit the portal: WILKIN, Formby, Keon Keeley, and Rico Scott. We go back to the phone lines, 630. Hey, how's it going? You're on the
Kyle.
line. Yeah, what's going on? Alabama football therapy. This is Kyle Henderson.
Football therapy. Yeah, brother. You about right. Yeah, you definitely about right. Hey, man, this is Andre from Chicagoland. How are you, man?
Yeah, what's up, man? Good to hear from you again, bro. Come with it.
A couple things, Kyle. Be in your way and out your way. Number one, why doesn't DeBoer go to Saban for anything? For what to do about the team, how to build Alabama to a championship program. I mean, why does he not do that? Or maybe he does and we don't know nothing about it. Or why doesn't DeBoer go towards the new Alabama coaches who are out there right now, like the A.J. McCarrons and folks like that, who really care a lot about the program and wanted to get back to what it used to be? Why doesn't he do that? Is it a prideful thing? Is it more of a, I want to be my way? Is it more, I don't want too many alpha males inside, overpowering? I don't know. That's number one. Number two, I think we need to do a better job of reevaluating players coming into the program to be impactful in the first year. I mean, look at Michigan and Indiana. What was the common theme? They had a bunch of 3rd, 4th, and 5th year players, people that wanted to stay. And on top of that, there were a bunch of impact players from the portal. I mean, you don't have to go very far. Look at Ole Miss. Am I right? I mean, I might be right on that. Am I right on that?
Yeah, you're good. Mm-hmm.
I mean, Ole Miss. I mean, Kiffin, didn't he build the roster off portals on top of recruiting as well, but many from the portal? I mean, heck, you got a starting quarterback from Michigan. I'm from Michigan.
Yeah.
From Big Rapids, Division II, Ferris State.
Yep.
I mean, for real? Ferris State. Ain't nothing in Big Rapids. Nothing. Nothing there. And my last point, man, listen, when it comes to this O-line, bro, in my opinion, we at DEFCON 1. We are seriously at DEFCON 1. There needs to be some serious attention on that line. Like the previous caller said and ones before that, man, to heck with these running backs. In my opinion, I think we set on that. Bunch of cute wide receivers. We need hogs. We need guys on that line. The O-line, Kyle, has not been great since Kyle Flood left for Texas to be with Sark. That was the last time the line at Bama has been great. We need to put the emphasis on the line so everything else could work. That's just my opinion, and get the run game back to where it needs to be. Because being last in the SEC on running at Alabama, Are you for real right now? Why do you
Right,
think Justice
yeah.
Haynes left? Justice Haynes went to Michigan, ended up becoming one of the top backs in the country
Yeah.
in 1 year
Yeah.
because Michigan runs the ball.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion, Kyle. But let me know what you think on those first 2 points. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate the show. Appreciate the undefeated, and God bless.
Yeah, take it easy, man. All right, Andre calling up from Chicago. I appreciate it, man. I think the first point, like, and this is interesting. I don't know. I mean, so truth be told, DeBoer and Saban are next door neighbors, literally, just as close as you are to your next door neighbor. Right? I mean, their houses might be a little bit larger than your and my house, but they are next door neighbors, right? Literally, just walk across the street with a cup of coffee and be like, "Yo, what do you think I should do right now?" We've taken a step, forward. We won more games, made it to the Rose Bowl. Okay, I know it didn't happen, but like, what do you think we should do? What do you think, the family? Like, what do you think the first very step that Alabama should do, like, to take a step forward? I think it's easy. Is focus on the offensive line, right? No matter what your educational level is with football, clearly we all know that you're not making moves without a productive offensive line. And to see all the offensive linemen that have hit the portal, maybe it might be overwhelming right now, but maybe that's a good thing. Maybe like kind of cleaning house. The other thing, I think what Alabama fans need right now, and they kind of want answers, is like, yo, what's happening with the offensive line coach? Because I've seen a lot of people call for Sam Pittman. But I think what they're saying is, like, we want changes at the offensive line, and kind of go back to what Ken was talking about from Northwest Alabama, and saying that, yo, even if you are friends with some of these people, you have to make some of these difficult decisions. And I find it interesting. Kapilovic is the only coach, because most of the coaching staff had a lot of continuity, right? The only guy who's not here is Scott Huff. Because he left and he went to, was he with the Rams, like the tight ends? Maybe that is kind of a missing piece. I don't know. But the offensive linemen, weren't it this year, and that was probably a catalyst for a lot of the issues that they had. Also, Grubb, I think he deserves some of the responsibility for it as well. Defensive linemen, I liked our defensive linemen. I don't think they were, like, outstanding, and sometimes I felt like they were only rushing 3, but they weren't, like, absolutely, like, dogs that we've had in the past. But I'm not too mad about the defensive line. I think it's kind of, the more we kind of dive into it, it comes back to the offensive line again and again. Right now, Alabama, I'm going to build, the next graphic I'm going to build for you tonight is which linemen are still here. Because I'm even wondering, I'm like, damn, what linemen are still here? He's with the Seahawks. I think he went to the Rams. I think he went, cause I'm talking Scott Huff. Scott Huff left with Grubb to the Seahawks, and then I think they both got fired, and I think Huff is with the Rams, coaching the tight ends. I think, right? Okay, Andy got my back right there. Okay, 773. Hey, welcome to the program.
Cal, how's it going?
Yeah, what's up, man? Who am I on line with, and where are you calling in
Mike
from?
Chicago.
Oh, Mike, what's
Mike
up,
from
bro?
Chicago.
Yeah, we went to Chicago
Not much,
twice, man. Yeah, I need to open up my own radio station up there, man.
Exactly.
Chi-Town, Bama.
Hey, exactly. We roll Tide this way too as well.
Yeah, what's up, man? Good to hear from you. Go ahead.
We have to get off the bridge and not jump in the water, okay? I'm always a person, hey, we got to bring back. We got to get out of this bubble. Like, we had one caller say, hey, we need more SEC coaches.
Mm-hmm.
The SEC was 2-7 this year. So it ain't like these SEC coaches were the best coaches out there. They were 2-7. Oh, we need Jeremy Pruitt back. Jeremy Pruitt was 16-19 at Tennessee. It wasn't like he was. All this living in this delusional land of grandeur and rainbows and unicorns. There was failure back in the day at some point by all these guys. I'm saying, if you look at where Alabama is, 2 seasons, they had successful, they're winning more than what they lost. They were on the contention to be in CFP the first year DeBoer was there. They were in CFP the second year. You're in a situation where the program needs to be tweaked, and I think DeBoer is trying to get his footing. If you talk about, like, even Ryan Grubb, the great GOAT wanted Ryan Grubb. He wanted to give Ryan Grubb like $1.9 million. So it wasn't like he's like this bum. The great GOAT, Nick Saban, wanted Ryan Grubb. So if we look at even with the quarterback, Ty Simpson, okay, at the end of the year, we're finding out, oh, my God, he had all these injuries. my understanding was that there's a lot of injuries across the offensive line. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes that we don't know. But when I look at the program, it's not like it's falling off the map. It's just, hey, the things that we want emotionally as fans did not happen. Ohio State is sitting at home with us just like we are. I mean, Ohio State put a lot. I need to get on their calls and find out. They're probably ready to blow up Columbus. But they put a lot of money into their program, and they ain't even there. So I just think that there's a lot of things that we're asking for, like somehow or another these guys, because they're getting money, they don't want to play. I think every guy out there is working. We're sitting at home making calls. They're out there practicing every day, working. To sit back and to be so like self-centered that these guys don't care because they got millions of dollars or whatever is totally insensitive. These guys are working their butts off to try to win. Sometimes it just does not happen. It's not because they don't care. Maybe it was a bad game plan. Maybe it's a lot of things. But to question do they care and all this other kind of stuff is just sometimes the fans. That's why you might get some of these guys that are in the transfer portal like WILKIN Formby. Maybe he doesn't want to walk around Tuscaloosa every morning because everybody's pointing fingers at him.
Yeah.
Or Keon, I mean, to sit back and just is this, we need to relax. Fans need to be more embracing sometimes about certain things that go on and not, well, when we lose, we need somebody out there to be out there cussing them out, because once you cuss somebody out, they'll start winning, and we'll be 12-0 once you cuss somebody out, as opposed to, it doesn't make any sense. When you look at the transfer portal makes sense. Because if you go, can you bring up the wide receiver one?
Yep.
There's 3 5-stars in the room. That's Cedarian Morgan. There's who else is there? The kid from California, and Ryan Williams. I mean, the receiver room looks good. I mean, Rico Scott was not going to get time. He was not going to get the time. I mean, Keon Keeley, I'm pretty sure he had a nice, decent season this year. I'm pretty sure he got called, said, hey, I got some money for you. So everything that's happening in the program right now, if you look at it, it looks normal. I mean, it looks like these are the things that should happen. It's not like we're getting starters that are leaving. It's not like guys who like if Ryan Williams was to leave, then I'd be like, oh my God, there's something going on behind the scenes. But the people who are leaving, it's probably how it would be. Back in the day when Nick Saban was coaching, there was no transfer portal. So he was able to stack 6 deep, 5 deep. So a lot of the problems that we're seeing now, it's the transfer portal. It's not Alabama coaches and things like this. It's a transfer portal. Cole Adams, I'm pretty sure there's somebody out there that wants Cole Adams. So that receiver room looks okay. And if you bring in the receiver from Auburn, I mean, you got a nice receiver room. But I just think we just need to pull it back some. It's just like when you're hearing everything that's going on, we just need to pull it back some, because as I say, the things that are going on, that's what's happening nowadays in college football. I mean, 11-4, was it 11-4 or 12-4? I forget which one it is. I mean,
11-4.
That's not bad. Yeah, and if we're talking about, okay, the only measure of success is by championships, then we're going to be singing hardship every year because this is a total different landscape as it was before back in the day. Again, as I said, Nick Saban was able to stack players 5, 6 deep, 3 deep at a time and not worry about anybody transferring. Nowadays, there's no stacking of depth. You may get too deep, but that's about it. But that's all I have to say. Hey, I appreciate Kyle. Hey, you do a great job with the graphics. You do a great job on your site. So whenever you ask him, you do everything. Hey, you keep me up to date on Alabama football.
Thanks,
and I'm
Mike.
all the way in Chicago. So, hey, I appreciate everything you're doing.
I appreciate you too, man. Thanks for calling in. All right, Mike out in Chicago, 503. Hey, welcome.
Hey, Kyle, Jim from OC, California. How you doing?
What's up, buddy? How you doing, man? Thanks for calling from. We went from Chicago out to California, man. Come with it. I appreciate you joining the show.
I was at that debacle at the Rose Bowl, and man, it was just so hard to watch. I mean, it was just, I didn't see any effort. You know, the O-line, it was just pathetic, and we've just seen this whole thing all year. And you know, we've all seen this the entire year. You can't run the ball. And before we start talking about bringing in Cam Coleman, and just like the guy who is talking about the offensive line, that's the thing that we have to fix. The offensive line has got to be the priority number one. Now, look at Justice Hayes. He leaves Alabama. He had problems running the ball at Alabama. What does he do? He goes to Michigan. Boom, instant star before he gets hurt. He's running wild at Michigan. And you get a good offensive line, you get a good offensive line coach, the guy's running crazy before he gets hurt. That's what Alabama needs to do. Michael Formby's gone. He was a liability. He was a liability all year. So, I mean, that's what we need to do is find some dudes that can block. We need a new offensive line coach, and that's been my biggest frustration all year. I've watched Alabama football since the 1970s, and I've never, ever seen this before. It's just too hard to watch. Ty was getting killed all year, and you can't, and I saw that hit that guy laid on Ty, and it was just like, and then that probably cracked his rib, and it was just frustrating to watch. I'm sitting around a sea of red, and there was more Indiana Hoosiers people at the Rose Bowl. It was probably 80%. When I was at that game on New Year's Day, and those guys were just physical. They were just totally dominated the line of scrimmage, and we had no chance in that game whatsoever. And
let me ask you a question. Did it seem like when you're watching that Indiana team, and I kind of noticed this as well. Did it seem like because even listening to Cignetti and then watching Indiana, how they operated, running the football, going over the top with Mendoza, did it seem like they were kind of like an old Alabama team to you?
Yeah.
Right?
They hit the holes.
Yeah.
They hit the freaking holes.
Yeah.
Not like when Jam Miller sitting there doing this little shifting, dancing. No, dude, hit the freaking hole and just go full speed. And those guys don't care. They just run hard. And that thing that Jam Miller would do, like shifting back and forth, and just not like Daniel Hill does that, but he's not fast enough quite. But they just run hard and straight ahead. And one thing that Kurt Canetti does, and I think the film guy kind of pointed this out, they go and examine what you are weak at, and they will exploit you. And that's exactly what they did. They knew that Alabama was weak at defending the run. And they looked at that, and they exploited that. And what did they do? They ran for over 200 yards in that game. And they saw those guys. Those dudes just came right at them. Right, I think it was on the left side or the right side. I can't remember exactly. And they just came right up the middle and just ran right over them. And they did that the entire game and just went right straight up the middle. We saw that, like in the Vanderbilt game, but they ran right straight up the middle. Saw that in the Missouri game, ran right straight up the middle. I mean, you can say what you can't do with a King Walmart defense, but there has been a vulnerability of the run game at times during the season. And that defense doesn't work. And they just run hard and straight ahead, and they just come right at you. And I just, we need some dudes on the defensive line. We need some guys that are on the offensive line. I mean, the guy that was at Michigan, he was an offensive line coach. I can't remember his name. He played at Michigan. He's not working right now. I think Courtney Morgan, I was calling that guy up at Michigan and be the offensive line coach at Alabama. We need somebody. I saw the blocking schemes when I was watching Michigan play. They're good. We need somebody. The guy that's at Alabama right now, he needs to go. And we need somebody that's going to learn how to blocking schemes or something, because what we got right now is not working.
Hey, well, good call. I appreciate the insight, and glad to hear your perspective from actually being at the game, man. So I appreciate it. Thanks for calling in, and we'll catch up with you next time. See you, buddy.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thanks, man.
All right. We have a 619 and then a 973. Then it looks like Chris from New Jersey has awoken, but we're going out to San Diego.
Unfortunately, we're in Tuscaloosa, not San Diego.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So, all right. Yeah. Remind me of your name again. Is it Jonathan?
This is Rob from Tuscaloosa.
All right. Rob from Tuscaloosa. All right. I'll get it. The more you call. All right, Rob, we got the 619, man. So I thought we were going, San Diego somewhere. Anyways, Rob,
Man,
I
I
appreciate
wish.
it. Yeah,
I wish. But I moved here over the summer and retained my number. I'll probably keep my number.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, yeah, it'll be easy for me. Okay, Rob, welcome to the show, and it is Transfer Portal Sunday. So however you want to take it, man, go ahead.
Kyle, take yourself back to the Ole Miss Georgia game as you're sitting there watching the game. There's 5 coaches alive in the playoffs at that point in time. Tell me, here's the question. What do they all have in common?
Well, they all played for Saban, or they all coached for Saban, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So we've been told that the game has changed and it's all about the spread offense and you know, as Nick was winding down his career, we were told that he was getting maybe a little antiquated, that kids don't respond to hard-nosed coaching, kids don't respond to organization. But yet, at that point in time, there's 5, and this is really an unbelievable statistic to me, because not only is there 4 Saban coaches alive today, at that point in time, there was 5 Saban coaches alive.
Yeah, yep.
So the evidence to me, Kyle, is overwhelming that not only can you still coach hard-nosed, maybe more so now than ever, because you got so many prima donnas roaming around, you just punch those people in the mouth. What do you think?
Well, I think that you look to the coaches that coach with Saban, and they all got the motto, and the motto is a combination of running the ball. They're all mean and nasty coaches who aren't afraid to be cutthroat. I mean, you look at their personalities. I mean, even before, like you said, before Kirby got bounced out, I mean, he's a shark. Kirby is a shark.
Yeah.
Lane, you know, I get it. You still can associate him with Ole Miss. He's still getting the bonuses. He's a shark. Pete Golding, man, like he's just a Louisiana boy, you know, who fell into a bucket of gold at Ole Miss. Mario Cristobal, he's got his guys. So you look to those guys and their personality compared to DeBoer. And it took me a while, and I said, but I'm back in DeBoer. I think this is going to be a long process, and now that we're kind of going through it after the season, it always gets hot, especially after you took a 38-3 beatdown. But I kind of like go back. I'm like, did we take a step forward? Yes, we did. And I kind of live on that. But I think, you know, there's other coaches that are out there that know the process and they're running the ball. I think that's where a lot of the problem exists. And my biggest issue is with Grubb. I think a lot of speaking like to the comment box, I think has gone after the offensive line or Kapilovic. I'm still chasing Grubb. I think that's our biggest issue, because I pair up like what the Seahawks are doing right now. They're running the table in the NFC. Last night they beat up on the 49ers by running the ball. So I get it. The offensive line wasn't that good, but I don't know. That's where I'm resting at. What else you got, Rob?
Well, I'm going to ask you about Golding in a second, because I know you've been covering Alabama very intensively for several years. But just to comment on Grubb real quick, I've got a friend who's a former coach that lives out in Seattle, and we talk all the time. And this predates having DeBoer at Alabama, and we've been talking about Washington football for years. And he has always told me that DeBoer is unique in his hiring, that he kind of runs a different paradigm. He likes to have his friends be his coaches because he feels like there's more loyalty and more continuity there. So I agree with you. Grubb is a problem. I'm concerned that loyalty continuity thing is going to get in the way.
Yeah. What else you got?
But
You said you're going to make a
for
point on Golding. What you got on Golding?
Well, I was just going to ask you, Kyle, because I know you cover Alabama a lot more than I'm a pretty hardcore, keep up with Alabama type guy, but not near as much as you. I don't do it full time. What is your opinion of Pete Golding and sort of your assessment of him as a coach?
I love it. I love the question. So Pete Golding, truth be told, didn't live far from me, okay? When Pete Golding was here, The biggest issue with him wasn't his football IQ, wasn't his love for the game. The problem with Pete Golding is I think Pete Golding was going through some off the field stuff and had a lot of growing up to do. Sometimes you have to grow up at different points in your life. I think Saban was the perfect mentor for him at that point in his life, and I've seen a lot of growing up from Pete Golding since he's been at Ole Miss, and I think he's making the most of that opportunity that he got from Kiffin. The best thing that I love about Golding is as soon as he could make a press conference, he's like, no, I'm not going to make this about me. I'm going to keep this about the team. And right as I saw him do that, make it more about the team, I was like, all right, Pete Golding is absolutely, taking steps forward for his own development. Now, look, with Trinidad Chambliss, who knows what could happen? I think they're probably on the lower end of the teams that are still playing, but Chambliss made some plays the other day that were extraordinary. I couldn't believe it. I was like, my goodness, this guy was just going off. So he's got some talent. They got something to play for clearly. But I've seen a lot of growing up from Golding, and I think Ole Miss fans should be happy about having him. He's wanted to be out there. I think his wife graduated from Ole Miss, so they're right at home. So, happy to see kind of those comeback stories, because when he was over here, he was the biggest scapegoat, and he was a real big reason that probably stopped from Alabama from winning a couple national titles. Hey, Rob, I appreciate the call, man. Thanks for calling in. Call again from the 619, man. Take it easy.
Thanks, buddy.
Yep. All right, Chris from New Jersey. What's up, Chris?
Hey, Kyle. Well, I wanted to take yesterday off, so I let some new caller, new blood in
isn't it nice? You get like a variety, because I'm telling you, people have been trying to call in for a long time, and it's good to get that variety. But now we got one of our leadoff hitters, who's Chris from New Jersey.
The old school. Kyle, I got a different take on this than everybody.
Okay.
And mine is, maybe you're going to start calling me positive, Chris, this year.
Oh.
And let's say that everything that's going on right now is about three things: money, and money. Okay. First of all, Courtney Morgan is the man, and we're going to get we obviously got the money right last year, and we're going to get the money even better this year. And if anybody thinks people aren't consulting Saban, that's silly. Saban said it on College Game Day earlier in the year. Pardon my French. He said, if you don't buy the right players, you're shit out of luck. Right out of Saban's mouth, right on national television. Okay, now let's before everybody starts freaking out all the damn time, let's look at like the top 10 spenders. By the way, Alabama was not in the top 10. It was not. It says we were 11. Some people have it as 12. But the top 10 spenders in 2025, Texas was number 1. Didn't make the playoffs.
Yep.
Michigan, Oregon was 2. They're in, of course. Michigan was 3. They didn't make it. You know who else was in there? Is USC, didn't make it. LSU was in there. Do you know that there's a couple places that said Auburn spent equal to us? Now Georgia's lost. They were in the top 5. So you got to spend the money on the right places. Now look at your beautiful graphics. Great job, Kyle. Is these guys obviously? DeBoer is a straight shooter. He's going to say, Kyle, hey, listen, we're not, Bama football on YouTube is okay, but you're not worth $2 million. You didn't even barely play in special teams. I'm talking about,
I got you.
Jalen Mbakwe, right? And Formby. And by the way, you know what it says about our backups? That we couldn't, that no matter what, Formby, they had to move him into guard. He was mediocre at guard. Our offensive line was horrible. Everybody's right about that. But what does this tell you, everybody? Everybody put a smile on your face. We're going to go into the portal, and we're going to get multiple great offensive linemen. There's a whole bunch in the portal. And they want to come to Alabama. So, same thing. By the way, notice that the first day he met with the offense and the second day he met with the defense, all of a sudden the defensive players are jumping into the portal, right? Well, supposedly that edge rusher from Penn State is visiting Bama. So Keelan Keeley, people are like, hey, listen, I can't give you, we can't give you any more money because we have some other people coming in here. So every time one of these guys, and everybody, you know what they should do? You should put little dollar signs next to all this money. So next to Mbakwe, you should put like 3. Noah Carter, you should put like 2. And every one of those is savings for us to spend. What we need to spend money on is offensive line and a couple D line. We got a defensive backfield, maybe a linebacker or 2. Listen, we've got the number 1 quarterback in the country coming next year. Keelan Keeley's going to be the number 1 quarterback in college football. We got the number 1 running back, 22.6 miles per hour. He's going to start. So what you need to what did that guy say? Who that great caller? The big uglies for the offensive. Our offensive line has been brutal. I mean, poor Bryce Young was getting smacked around. We need offensive linemen, and these guys, they're saying Olas and this guy. We're going to the portal. We're going for starters. We're going to go in. By the way, if they brought in, let's face it. Look at the Indiana team. The whole team came from the portal. They spent wisely. Hey, Kyle, I'm not a big baseball fan, but you remember when the Yankees had the most expensive infield, like in the history of sports, with A-Rod and Jeter, and I forget the second baseman. Did they win a World Series? No, they didn't win a World Series. So all that money, just put it in your fireplace and burn it up.
It's kind of like you got to have somebody on your squad right now that can be like a Moneyball. Remember when they had like that analyst that came in?
Kyle,
it was
I was
basically
going to say Moneyball, man.
And he was like looking at basically like who was the best slot position player that could pick up this? Who was the best for this, right? That was
Kyle Henderson, you can play first base. I don't know how. We'll teach you.
Yeah.
It's not that hard. The other coach goes, no, it's really hard. No, so I mean, everybody. Listen, I think everybody. It's early in the year. Everybody, calm down. Every one of these people. I hope some more people go in the portal. The more people go in the portal, the more money we have to spend.
By the way,
the
second baseman Tino Martinez.
Yes. Oh yeah, he got paid too. He was like $14 million a year. So everybody on that now. Is anybody on here that we need for next year? I'm going to throw this out, Kyle. I know this might not be popular. Not one of these is going to hurt our team for next year. So I'm hoping let's get some more people on here so we can spend more on offensive linemen. Maybe we can get the. And by the way, everybody's met this guy from Auburn. I don't. We got plenty of wide receivers. This guy, Ryan Williams is going to have a break. He's going to get out of the sophomore slump. He's going to have a breakout year. We need offensive linemen, to more offensive linemen, 1 defensive lineman, a couple linebackers, and some more offensive linemen. That's what we need to win the SEC, to win, and we're going to be great. Everybody says, calm down. We're going to be great. Everybody should be happy. Let's hope some more people jump into this portal by the end of the day.
Sounds good, Chris.
So that's my rant.
I appreciate
my positive rant, Kyle. Positive rant.
Always, man. I like your points too. Per usual. Thanks for calling in, Chris. I appreciate it, man. We'll talk to you this
All right,
week.
brother.
Okay.
Roll Tide. Roll Tide.
Yep. See ya. I like that. Yeah, always a good call. Very positive. Just because you spend the most, right? Like we've learned that you can't spend the most on a roster. Like, let's say, who are some teams that have spent the most in the past that we've heard? Texas A&M, right? Texas is always a high spender. Texas Tech got pretty close, but the problem with Texas Tech was their quarterback. That's why I just saw. Do you see who they might get? Texas Tech, Sam Leavitt, who I think would be a great addition. But as soon as I saw their quarterback kind of on a larger stage against other teams in the Big 12, I was like, oh, that's their problem. This guy's not good at all, right? So, but they certainly spend a lot. Okay, 662. Hey,
hey, Kyle. This is Jake from Mississippi.
Hey, Jake. Good to hear from you. I appreciate it. As soon as I saw the 662, I was like,
wanting to call in.
Yeah, got you. Go ahead.
Wanting to call in regarding the offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think this is more of a plan thing? And I wouldn't say necessarily booting guys out, but starting to understand that they're not scheme fits and we need to move on. Do you think this is more of a trying to get more scheme fits in ordeal, or do you think guys are wanting more money?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I think that there's probably a little bit of cleaning house going on for sure. I think it's unfortunate. I can't imagine a situation like talking the defensive line, like I can't imagine a situation where they go to Keon Keeley and they're like, hey, it's best that you leave. Like he probably left because
definitely not him.
That one hurts. But like WILKIN Formby, I think they probably sat down with him and they're like, look, we tried you at tackle, we tried you at right guard. For our specific scheme and like what we want to do going forward, we think it's best that you go elsewhere. And I think that's exactly what happened with WILKIN Formby, because you tried him at tackle. Did it work out? No. Did you try him at guard? That was weird. It never felt right with Formby. Some of these other guys like Rock Montgomery, I think the writing was on the wall. So you look at the offensive lineman. Now Parker Brailsford will be an interesting one, and I've kind of been going back and forth with the undefeated inside the comment box. Like some people like him, some people don't. Now Alabama did offer an offensive lineman who plays center, but right now you do need linemen. I mean, you're losing a lot of linemen, and it's going to be interesting to see within the next 2 weeks which offensive linemen that they are targeting to bring in. But I think you're right. I think some of it could be cleaning house for sure, and I think one of them is WILKIN Formby. I don't think WILKIN Formby like went in and demanded more money. I think that they were just like, hey, like, because we probably have more of the same problem. Where's WILKIN Formby going to play next year? You telling me he's going to play right tackle or right guard? No, we've seen the same problems, and he's definitely not going to play left tackle. What else you got, man?
I agree with everything you just said there. I feel like they're trying to get more great players in the middle, offensive and defensive line. I feel like that's where the game is won, is in the trenches, and I think they're understanding that. I feel like we're fixing to start going after more A-plus interior players instead of A-plus skill players, because I feel like if you have great offensive line, it makes good 3-stars look great behind it, instead of having no offensive line and all this talent on the outside. I feel like they're understanding where they're messing up, and we're fixing to start spending more money on the inside instead of all the playmakers. We're going to start spending money in the trenches. I was wanting to know what you think about that.
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to. I mean, I think it's apparent as we've been taking the calls. If we were to, like, summarize the show, I think the majority is we love Cam Coleman if we're able to get him. Hollywood Smothers, if it works out, great. But you just need to start from, like, the offensive line and build up through there. We have quarterbacks. We have some running backs. Shoot, we got Crowell. We got receivers. We got tight ends. Offensive linemen, we don't really have them. Like, even, I mean, I've showed you the graphic a couple different times. I mean, look at these guys that are leaving. I mean, even the guys that we're not going to play. I mean, it's like, so you need offensive linemen. That's the biggest area of need right now.
And I feel like that's what people aren't understanding. They're wanting all these flashy players from the portal. And I'm not complaining or nothing, but we don't need a Cam Coleman. I feel like there's guys in-house, even at the running back room, that are way more talented than what we've seen. But when you've got guys all mixed up in a scheme and you've got offensive linemen, 3 different schemes for three different offensive linemen that are built for 3 different schemes, all on the same line, it just wasn't matching up. That's all I really got for you, Kyle. I just feel like they need to spend money all on the inside and not worry about the playmakers, because I feel like we're stacked, playmaker-wise.
Gotcha,
we have as much talent as anybody in the country. We just need to focus on offensive linemen and front 7 on defense.
Sounds good, man. Thanks for the call from Mississippi. I appreciate it. By the way, and from Matt Zenitz, does an amazing job for 247. Jalen Mbakwe, kind of like me, it is interesting to figure out like where our players going to go from like other places and whatnot. Jalen Mbakwe, it looks like he is visiting Ole Miss, Georgia, and Georgia Tech. So Mbakwe visiting those 3. So I would imagine that he probably lands up at Ole Miss. But who knows? It would be hella interesting if he lands up at Georgia, right? I mean, can you imagine Alabama versus Georgia, and then you have Jalen Mbakwe? I don't know. Does he play DB again? Can you imagine this? What if this happens? What if Jalen Mbakwe goes out to Georgia They play next year. He plays DB and receiver. I don't know. And he ends up guarding Ryan Williams. Didn't they guard each other in the championship game in high school? Right? I don't know. I guess we'll have to figure out what happens. Yeah, I just saw that, Nicholas, but Zenas just tweeted this out like 1 second ago, right? That he's also visiting Georgia Tech and Georgia. So I think he is predicted to Ole Miss, and that's kind of always been the thought. But I think Georgia wants to take – and that's kind of the problem. You don't want players going that were here going to Georgia. You don't want players here going to, like, Ohio State. You don't want – you know what I'm saying? Players can go out to, like, Baylor and Kansas and whatever, but you don't want, like, a Jalen Mbakwe going to Georgia, all right? You don't want them to have Zachariah Branch and, Bach. Like, you don't want Keon Keeley going to Georgia. Imagine this. Georgia gets like Keon Keeley and Jalen Mbakwe. I don't like that. 501. Hey, welcome to the show. I appreciate you calling in. Who am I on line with and where are you calling in from?
Hi, Kyle. This is Dennis.
Dennis,
from Arkansas.
Yeah, Dennis from Arkansas. What's going on, buddy? I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for joining the show. Go ahead.
Hey, I tried to back off a little bit, man. I didn't call yesterday or any of that, but I just figured I'd jump in today, man. It's hard for me not to jump in, Kyle. You got such a good show, and it's hard for me just not to call in and, maybe just give my little point of view every now and then, But, yeah, a couple points. Nobody has really thought about the fact that, and correct me if I'm wrong, Kyle, I mean, you maybe can answer this. What other team in the country has had two coaches get head coaching jobs off the same team? We've got Shepard, of course, that went to Oklahoma State. And then we've got Sheridan that went to Washington, or where did he go?
He went to Michigan State.
Michigan State.
Yeah, as the OC.
Oh, he's only OC. Okay, but tell me this: who else has that many kind of coaching turnovers, and do you think that has anything to do with? Especially Shepard. Shepard was a good coach. A lot of them players liked him a lot.
Yep.
You don't think any of those receivers gonna head on over to Oklahoma State, and I'm sure he recruited a couple of them, or had his hands in getting them over there to Alabama. And then as far as the linemen, where are they gonna go, Cal?
Yeah.
Who's going to say, oh, we want WILKIN Formby?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a knock against it. It's just, the truth. We're living in a reality world today.
I know, but you know what? But it works. Look, this is a weird analogy, but like if you're a male or you're a female out there and you like broke up with somebody, you're like, who could trust me? There's somebody else. There's somebody else out there. That's how it always works out. So
yeah. And I understand that. And so that goes to, I think it was the caller before the last one. He had some great points when it came to the fact that we have to look at the upside of this. When you lose a big game, the way that we lost that big game, 38-3. What we're seeing going on is what's supposed to go on, Kyle. Mm-hmm. You got to clean house. I'm not the biggest fan of Grubb. I'm really not. But I will say this: when he has his pieces, he's a good coordinator. You seen it at Washington. Had a real good running back, had a real good line, and that kind of offset what Penix was able to do in a historical year at Washington. Mm-hmm. If you understand what I'm saying, you couldn't just bear down and say, "Oh, we're gonna stop Penix." No, because they had a good running back and they were running the ball. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, he rushed for over 1,000 yards that year, Kyle. You know, because everything was offsetting each other and it fit the scheme. So schematically, my only problem is I understand the schematics of things and I understand all that, but what we seen last week looked at like a lack of effort and coaching, though. It's just the want to didn't seem to be there from our offensive line, and it has been like that for a while. You know, it has been like that for a while, but I just feel like I feel like that what is going on is exactly what's supposed to happen when you lose a game like that. And I think that the board, before we even could get a chance to talk about it or think about it or anything like that, he already knew. I mean, nobody watches the film or studies their team more than he does. And so this is what we were begging for, right? We're begging for a better offensive line, you know? And so I don't know what we would expect to see if that's what we want, you know? You expect to see these guys exiting this place or exiting Alabama to make room for what we need, you know, because truth be told, you know, like the last caller said, it is about the money, but you got to put the money in the right places. You know, we've never had an offensive line that we've never had to question our offensive line is the thing, you know, never. You know, year in, year out, you know, and I know Saban's gone, but year in, year out, we never had to question our offensive line when Saban was there, you know.
I think that's a really good point, Dennis. And I'm gonna move on to my next caller, but stop you right there. That is such an excellent point. I have to think back. I'll ask the undefeated on this, but like, and good call by the way, Dennis. I appreciate it, man. We'll talk to you next time, Dennis. Out in Arkansas, but that was that made my ears perk up. Under Saban, were there times that we were questioning the offensive line? I'm telling you, help me out. Was there a time where we were like, oh, Saban's offensive line is trash? I can't remember. And who was the best offensive line coach that we had here? Brent Key was here when I first got here. And then Kyle Flood. He was pretty good. I can't remember the guy who came from Kentucky and then quickly got bounced out. What was his name? There hasn't been a lot of offensive line coaches since I've been here. But I think Brent Key, look at Brent Key, what he's been doing, right? He's done a really good job at, let's see. Seth doesn't like Saban's offensive line since 2021. Wasn't 2021 they made the Natty though that year, fam? All right, let's take the call. 470. Hey, welcome to the show. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with and where are you calling it from?
What's up, Kyle? It's Chance.
What's up, Chance? How you doing, man?
Oh, I'm not great. Not great. Oh, and the worst O-line we had was Saban's last year because all the missed snaps and miscues.
Yeah.
That was the worst offensive line we had.
Yeah, they're the undefeated is. It reminded me. We got we had Eric Wolf, and then we had Doug Marone. I forgot about Doug Marone. He was a package deal with.
Bring back Doug Marone.
He was a package deal with.
Bring back Doug Marone.
Bill O'Brien. Yeah, that's right. Thanks, guys. So what's up, Chance? Where you want to start, man? Shoot, there's a lot to talk about. Go ahead, man.
Well, I'm not. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, bro. I'm not like all these other people that are going to be living in a fairy tale somewhere, saying, "Oh, you know, we weeding them out, so we go get guys out of the portal." Tell me how good that's working for Florida State, man. Their whole roster's built in portal. I don't see us doing that, dude. But this will go down in history, I'm out. I'm out on the board. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done with all of them. It's heartbreaking. But it'll go down in history as the biggest implosion of a program that was once elite, and a guy came in, and it was self-sustaining. You had the brand. You already had your roster, for the most part, completely stocked, and you just burn it to the ground. You burn it to the ground. I'm out on this dude, man. Out. Completely out. I don't got no hope for it no more. I can't. Every weekend this year, I've went into it like never before. You know, like it's been a complete disaster. I mean, the O-line's like, I'm glad Formby's gone. Good. That dude was terrible. He was awful. Well, we lost that other guy, the Ola Saline or whatever.
Yeah.
That was a big guy, but he never got no playing time. Micah DeBose is gone. We got one guy that's ready for the NFL, another one that's going to the NFL. We got a true freshman, and that's it. That's the only one we got with experience. Dude, mark my words. After next season, it'll go down in history as the biggest debacle implosion in college football history to once was and what is today. He ruined it, man. He ruined it. All of them, every one of them. Grubb, DeBoer. I can't speak. I can't talk him up no more, man. We did, like every game we won this year was pure luck. We didn't beat nobody by any substantial. I mean, no, man. We got lucky at Georgia. I mean, Ty done good, but we had no running game. We had nothing. And this breaks my heart. This is an emotional day for me because I've been an Alabama fan my whole life. I remember the Bows and the Shula days. People just don't remember that stuff.
Yeah.
They're weekend fans, so they're not. But man, it's bad. It's so bad. It's so bad. I mean, who knows? Who cares what Todd does? He should go to the NFL. I remember when I talked to you a couple months back, I was like, he should probably come back and hone his craft. But I mean, I don't know, man. It sucks. It just sucks. I don't think there's any hope, man.
Yeah.
I'm just not going to get on here and try to talk it up and talk so good about it. Like, oh yeah, this guy's going. We'll get one where it's better. It's like, no, bro. Yes, we improved a little. We got to the SEC championship, but I think the writing's on the wall, man. That's as good as it's going to get, and it's going to look bad every weekend. Like I don't know. I don't know. Maybe he'll win me over again, but for as of right now, I'm out. I'm out on this dude, completely out.
All right, I appreciate the call, Chance. Thanks for calling in, brother.
That's all I'd say, man.
All right, you're good, man.
Roll Tide.
All right, take it easy. All right, so I'm gonna ask you a question, okay? And I get it. The emotion of the transfer portal after the season, like I have some data up here with DeBoer's numbers, okay? So I just want to ask you a question. Is Alabama trending up or down? Because you're either going one way, right? So look, if your answer is one way, we can change it another time, okay? But I'm asking this from, let's do this under like a 2-year window, okay? Because now that we have some data points, and just look, 20 wins, you have 8 losses. It's a different era, right? Reached the SEC title game, right? Top 5 recruiting classes, best win Georgia on the road. All right, let's just up or down. I get it. It could be reactionary. Let's just vote on it. All right, go ahead and vote. I have added the poll. His Chance got me thinking too. Is like he's down. He's not feeling it. He's upset. Obviously, getting deep pants on national TV is terrible. But like if you it's weird, right? I get it because right now it's a tough answer. You mostly would be down because you just got Keon Keeley and this and that. And I'm also, I got, I'll take the next calls in just a second. To be honest, let me ask you this. Because we probably all feel the same way, okay? Which guy are you like looking at your phone to see if he's transferred? Which guy are you like looking that you think you're like, oh my goodness, is this guy going to transfer or not? I'll be honest with you. I'm gonna tell you right now, man. These tweets don't stop, man. The guy I'm looking at that, to see if he transfers or not is probably Austin Mack. I don't know why. I just feel it's like I don't think it's gonna be Hollywood. Ryan is staying 1,000,000%. He's staying. It would make no sense. He's already been paid the most, right? Where would he go? Would someone else pay him more money? I don't think so. Ryan's here. I have my eye on, I think a game breaker or like a showstopper, or I have to like restart the stream, would be like Austin Mack. I don't think Keelan's leaving, but I think Ty's going to go to the NFL, and I'm trying to figure out what Austin's going to do. Right? Yeah, Keelan will hurt the most, but I think he's already being paid a ton of cash, so much so that he's good regardless. All right. Let's do 936. Hey, thanks for calling. You're on line with Kyle. Yeah, who am I on line with and where are you calling in from?
Yo, Kyle, this is T. Rich out of Lufkin, Texas.
Yo, what's up, T. Rich? How you doing, dog? Appreciate you, man.
Man, Kyle, I'm trying to make a few points. Keelan Keeler, that hurt.
Yep.
That one hurts. And I'm going to say something that's going to be kind of funny. Coach Shep can come get all of those offensive linemen that we got in the conference that he playing and probably do something good. He can get the wide receivers if he wants as well. But that's just a little humor. But man, three coaches I go get.
Okay.
Sam Pittman, offensive lineman.
I like Pittman.
I go get Bo Davis. We need defense linemen. We need more physicality.
Mm-hmm.
Jeremy Pruitt. And also, I question the strength and condition because we look soft. I've been saying it since the beginning of the season. We don't look physical. I think what Kalen DeBoer did when, for one, you're playing in the South, the SEC. This is the toughest conference. As you can see by the middle of the season, every team in the SEC was all banged up. But, hey, we fought through it. But back to what I'm saying. Something that I feel made our team soft was they took the practices from afternoon to morning with snow cones. Really? Man, if there's one thing I know from being an athlete and playing football, playing in the heat tests your mental capability, your mental toughness, your focus. Okay, how bad do you want it?
Mm-hmm.
It's hot, but can you sustain consistency? It's hot, but can you keep it up? Can you keep wearing on them? Come on. In the morning, and it showed. It showed in the game. When they came off the ball, nobody came off the ball physical, hard at all. And even though Parker Bradford, blocks his butt off, he was too light in the ass.
Mm-hmm.
He did risky, but he was too light.
Let me ask you a question real quick.
T.
Rich, let me ask you a question real quick about Parker, okay? Because I've been going back and forth with the Undefeated on that. I think he's coming back. I think the majority of people think he's going or just don't care or don't want him coming back. But do you feel like on a 4th and 1 or like a 4th and 2, sometimes Alabama didn't have the confidence to just line up and like run underneath center or like just straight up man-on-man dominate because he was undersized for a traditional center?
Kind of, sort of, but also you got to take into consideration, if anybody watched all of the games all season, every time they say a height, at least Parker Bradford was on a block.
Mm-hmm.
Our biggest players were being, you would literally see all 11 players from the defensive side on our playmaker, whoever had the ball at the moment, and the offensive line still be standing in place.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, man, I don't know why we didn't get, the Hulk back in and play a guard with I felt like that was missing physicality for the run game. I question a few things, even in the playoff. Mm-hmm. Man, the way we came out and we sacked him, Mendoza twice back to back. Okay, Bama's going to play ball.
Me too. Yep.
I said, but when you get in the red zone twice, you got to think it's football. Indiana still was the #1 team in the nation for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Man, and put some points on the board. I feel like that's why Ole Miss beat Georgia. Hey, we know we're playing a good Georgia, disciplined Georgia team. So when I get in the red zone, hey, I got a capable kicker. Let me go ahead and put points on the board. Even though I didn't have that much faith in Talty, still, let's at least try. We are so gung-ho on going off for analytics. No, they're number one in the nation for a reason. And then on, 4th and inches, instead of you giving it to your 245-pound running back, you give it to your wide receiver trying to come up through the middle. Like, if you think about it, if he kicked the ball twice and made it, the score is now 6-7. Now it's a ball game. It's a fight. We see that we're in the game. We got something to fight for. I mean, and I understand, the defense has gotten better gradually, but Kane Womack don't know when to blitz at the right time. Like, I mean, I know he just pulled in another coach from South Alabama or something like that, but I really feel like, hey, man, Ballou, he's focused too much, a little bit more on the sports science aspect of it. We hadn't been a physical football team since Ballou has been in Alabama. Yeah, we hadn't had as many injuries. That's good. But we haven't been a physical football since David Ballou took over strength and conditioning. I'm sorry. I mean, if you look at it, go look at all of the film. From the time David Ballou got it, and then, like I said, I mean, it's one thing when you're practicing in the heat, it tests everything in your body. How long can you keep going until you break? Especially for those big offensive linemen, those are tests for you. Let me see your consistency in this 105 heat. This heat index is about 110 or 112. Y'all took the practice and put it in the morning. Hey, yes, it's still way cooler in the morning than what it is in that Alabama heat in the afternoon. Everything that made Bama physical, even a coach, a team plays up to their coach. If Alabama was down, when you went into halftime with Nick Saban, when they came out, they were different animals. They kicked ass, shut you out, leaned on you, made you quit. Kalen DeBoer's coach is soft, and he gonna in this business, he's got to get his friends out of his back pocket. Ryan Grubb's going to get us killed in the SEC. This is not Seattle. Quit trying to throw the ball 100 times, and I felt like they should have pulled Ty earlier. He was rattled. When Austin May got in, he played control. He wasn't rattled. I feel like they should have pulled him earlier. Pulled Ty Simpson sooner. I said at the last game they should have pulled Ty and put in Austin Mack or something, like just a change of pace to see what you could have got. I mean, hey, that's my thing. Roll Tide, roll. Bama keep going. I mean, I pray this portal just don't hit us too bad, because as of late, I mean, when they poach Alabama, it's like, dang, we'll be depleted.
Yep.
So
good call, T-Rich. I appreciate it, man. Good dialogue as always, man. Thanks for calling in.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Roll Tide to you. And then 885. We got 2 850s. 850. Hey,
what's up, man? This is Craig.
What's up, Craig? How you doing, man? Where you calling out of?
I'm out of Jacksonville, Florida, man.
All
Originally from Bama, moved down here for work, and been
Yo.
a diehard Bama fan my whole life.
Before we begin, have you been watching those Jaguars? The Trevor Lawrence is, man, he just like absolutely been taking over lately.
He definitely has. I think they finally got a coach that the scheme fits.
Yeah.
And I think that's the biggest thing. I mean, you even look at Mac Jones. When he finally got into a place with a good scheme,
100%.
He started making a difference. Did a great job in San Francisco this year while Purdy was out.
Yep, 100%.
So
yeah,
I think scheme is everything.
Yeah, man. Well, welcome, welcome to the show. Come with it from Jacksonville. Go ahead, man.
So my biggest thing, and I think it was Chance earlier, he was just all doom and gloom on DeBoer. I'm not there yet. And one of my main points with this is DeBoer was really one of the few coaches that was willing to step in and try to fill the shoes left by Nick Saban. He came in, he had better talent than he's ever had in his life, true. But those players weren't recruited by him, weren't there for his scheme. He come from Washington, made the national championship, had the best offensive line in the country at the time. And I feel like a lot of it is you just got to give the man time to get players in that fit what he's trying to do. You know, and I do agree that we have looked soft. I think we need some alphas in there.
Yeah.
I would love to see, you know, us get another Warmack or another Fluke or somebody in there that is just hungry and looking to eat and dominate the person in front of them. I don't think we've had those alphas on that team.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had a few here and there. You know, I love what I see from the true freshman, Michael Carroll. I love his aggressiveness. Granted, he's not a true tackle, but I think stepping in and learning, he's done a great job. And honestly, seeing all these O-linemen starting to enter the portal, I think there's something going on behind the scenes because DeVore knows you've got to run the ball to be able to win games in this conference. You know, and you go up against somebody like Cignetti, you know, he just walked the dog on us. But at the end of the day, you know, I listened to his interview the other day. He said in 1 year under Saban, he learned more than he had the previous 27 as a coach. So it's a learning process. And to me, you still got Saban there. He's supposed to be, you know, someone that you can talk to. He's got his office in the stadium. It's like, I think DeBoer is continuing to learn what it takes to win in the South. Because coming from where he was at, it's a completely different ballgame. And I think he learned that in between the first and second year. And I think there's going to continue to be growth. I mean, the recruiting last year was different than it was this year because he started focusing more on those Southern players, the in-state players that I think you have to have when you're coaching at Alabama. It's great to get talent from Cali. I know Saban did it with Bryce and several other players, but you got to have those in-state. You've got to be able to win your state to continue to move forward. And I think that he's on the right track. It didn't look like it the last few games. His team was completely beat up. You know, I saw everything that Ty was going through. Now, granted, it's all a bunch of hearsay, but you see where, you know, supposedly he was taking epidurals from the South Carolina game, had the elbow issues. I mean, and then the offensive line wasn't helping him at all. So I think all these O-linemen are getting out because DeBoer knows he's got to find some nasty that's going to be able to push the defensive fronts that he's got to play in the SEC on a week in and week out basis.
Yeah. Yeah. I like the call. Yeah. Not bad. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for calling in and call again next time. Good dialogue.
Yeah, man.
All right. Let's do a 850. I think. Hey, you're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with? Where are you calling in from?
Hey, Kyle, it's Cody from Custer.
Cody with the double dip, man. Cody.
Yes.
What's up,
Sorry,
man?
I'm hijacking the show. I just
Cody, I can't hear you, bro. You're gonna have to speak up.
Sorry, Kyle. Something's been nagging with me. Sorry if I'm hijacking the show for no dang reason. I just got this nagging voice with me. Could you pull up that email that I have with you with the document that I sent with you on your email with the ideas I've had?
I can't do that right now, but I'll take your question or whatever. Go ahead, Cody.
Because right now I'm basically just. I think what happened is, remember, if you don't know about when Nick Sheridan and Grubb was on the same, the staff, before Nick Sheridan took the job.
Okay.
I don't know if it was me, and I don't think if people don't realize it. I think what happened was the reason why Sheridan took that job was because Grubb and Sheridan wasn't on the same page, which was internally interfering in players' performances. So what I was thinking was Grubb is one-sided. Sheridan, when he was offensive coordinator for Alabama, he ran the ball. So guess what? If a one-sided guy and a guy who runs the ball, there's two different focal points. And I think what happened was, I don't know if Grubb had a bigger ego or Sheridan had a bigger ego. One of them two did not get on the same page on the internal, and I don't think they even mentioned that behind the scenes. They just played it cool like it was nothing. I think what happened was interfere in player performances. Grubb and Sheridan was not on the same page. Now, Sheridan and Jamarcus Shepard might have been on the same page, but Grubb and Sheridan have never been on the same page. There was probably a disagreement behind the scenes or in the room of offense and for wide receivers and quarterbacks or offensive schemes. Thoughts on that, Kyle?
Thanks, Cody. I'll answer on the other line, bro. Thank you so much for calling again with the double dip. Thanks, buddy. All right, that was Cody with the double dip. I don't know. When I look to Ryan Grubb and Nick Sheridan, do I see like a major difference between the two and like what they did? I don't know. You know what's crazy is I actually think that Nick Sheridan. This is really weird. Did Nick Sheridan call a better season than Ryan Grubb? I don't know. Here's where I think where I did like Ryan Grubb. Some of the fourth down and third down stuff that he did outside of the last game, I actually liked. Some of the other stuff, I have never seen a coach in my entire life call more gadget plays. Never. And you know how I feel about gadget play. I mean, it's just, I don't know. That's an interesting one. I had to think maybe Sheridan. Did Michigan State just get a better offensive coordinator than Bama? Huh. Maybe, right? The King says, yeah. Weird, right? Oh man, this is crazy. Nick Sheridan. All right, 717.
Hi, Mike from Harrisburg.
What was your first name?
Michael.
Michael, what's up, man? Thanks for
Pennsylvania.
calling from Pennsylvania, bro. Come with it.
Hi, you're quite welcome. Hey, the bottom line with us is that we don't have a coach that's a dog. I mean, Saban was a dog, and I know you have to get over the Saban era, but this is Alabama. We need dogs, and if your coach is not a dog, guess what? The team's not a dog. You got to get players in there that can, run the ball, block on the offensive line, be mean on the defensive line. I mean, what are we basically doing? I got a coach that stands on the sideline and just claps. I don't need you clapping. I need you in someone's, tush.
No.
I need you yelling and screaming at them. Because a lot of times, and I think you agree, we would be down 7 points. It looked like the team went to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And then my coach is on the sideline clapping. What are you clapping for? Get with somebody. I mean, Saban would have just been tearing heads off against that team. 38-3. You think Saban would have been standing on the sideline clapping and going, oh, my God, what are we going to do now? Am I right?
Yeah, I think
Saban would have made adjustments.
Yeah,
pound them.
yeah. A lot of people, as you listen, even throughout the course of the season, I think it's just kind of one of those things. I mean, it's just a stark difference from Saban and his mentality. And look, whoever it was going to be, and you compare even DeBoer against the other coaches in the SEC, they're all different. I mean, you could theoretically say,
Yes,
I don't know, DeBoer seems like the most.
They're all different.
But you could say like DeBoer probably seems like the most, I don't know, like beta or whatever, because the other coaches are. I mean, this is the SEC is that's why I actually have given Kalen a step forward, because they made it to the SEC championship. I would have never thought, with no running game and how they started kind of trending off towards the back end, that they would still be able to get the SEC title game. I'm not looking for like moral victories. I just think like getting to the SEC title game is actually now a punishment, because you have to still go through one more of that gauntlet before you go into the playoffs. I do feel that he's making some sort of a metamorphosis. Like we saw him like punch the field goal post, and he, the black jersey, black represents kind of like tough guy. But I think overall, I think people still feel that they can challenge Alabama, and that's not a good thing, right? I mean, there used to be like a stark fear, but now like when you have whoever it is, I think if you asked the great majority of people, even if I ask people on here, does everybody out there think that they can compete with Alabama? They would say yes. And in my opinion, that is a brand hit. And I think recruits out there are eventually 2020 is going to get far away, and people are going to be like, well, is Alabama even the same Alabama anymore? Right? And that's where it gets really scary. Are we at that point anymore? I don't know. I mean, you just won 11 games. You did beat Georgia. You beat, 4 top 25 teams, so you might not be there. But if you continue to kind of go down this route, people are going to continue to question the brand, which is not a good thing. Go ahead, man.
But, here's a real quick thing, though. You got all these 5 stars. Your talent alone should just be destroying other teams. I mean, we played against a team in the quarterfinals who 3 stars, 2 stars, 1 star. I mean, come on, your talent alone. Because, when Nick Saban, Bear Bryant, Ray Perkins, all these guys, when they were coaching Alabama, it was about toughness.
Yeah.
And coaching these people.
Yeah.
If you can't coach 5-star players to want to win a game, please leave the sideline. If you can't make them dogs, please leave the sideline. There are other jobs out here for you to do. But when you have this much talent that comes in year after year, and you've been there now 2 years, and we should have won a national championship this year just with our talent alone.
Yeah.
And that's what's upsetting. I mean, you have to admit, why were we even there after the first quarter? We had 2 sacks, and then, okay, that was it, done. What were we doing?
Yeah.
That's what the upsetting part of it is. You got this much talent. You got all these things that will make you successful, and we got a coach sitting on the sideline like, okay, how soft can I be? I don't want to disturb the players.
Yeah.
I don't want to make them angry. I mean, what are we doing?
Yeah.
You think Bear Bryant would have just sat there and tolerate this type of effort? No.
No, I don't, man. But good call. Yeah, a lot to ponder on there, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for calling in, man. 717. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, take it easy, man. This will be the last call that we take. The 706. We've been on for 321. I still have to do the podcast, and I have to make dinner too. So. Okay, look, I have if you want me to address anything specifically on the podcast for Monday, post it inside the comment box, and we'll take our last call of the day. 270, we won't get to you today, but 706, we're going to take you next. 270, call back next time. 706, take it.
Hey, Kyle, this is Antonio, man, calling from Phoenix City, Alabama.
What's up, Antonio? I appreciate it, man. Come with it.
Not much, man. Hey, I just want to say a few things, man. I know you got to go cook and make some food. I just want to say this, man. DeBoer, I like him, but, the last caller from Pennsylvania, Mikey, he hit on a lot of things that I was going to say about physicality, demeanor, posture. The first thing first, with any team that, you have to identify first is, when it all comes down to it, basically body language. And that reflects off of the head coach. I've told people all year and all last year since the board got there, I think the main thing is you're only as good as your teacher or who's teaching you. So, not saying that he ain't a good teacher, but a lot of his mannerisms, demeanor, characteristics reflects on his players and who he's teaching. If a teacher have a classroom full of failures, not saying that Bama was a whole bust. I know we won 11 games, but if the teacher have a classroom full of failures, who's to blame? Is it the students or the teacher?
Yeah,
it's the teacher.
Teacher, yeah.
So, my thing is, man, I think he'll get it right, but I only think he got one more year to do that, to at least look like to do that. And if I don't think he just that physical demeanor type guy that, that has that grit. Look at Kirby Smart. Look at Dan Lanning. Look at Kurt Sinetti. Look at even Pete Golden that just took over for Ole Miss. Look at Lane Kiffin. He's an offensive-minded guy, but he has grit. He has toughness. Look at a lot of other coaches. Kyle Whittingham that just took over Michigan. Man, you got to have toughness. I know he hit the goalpost, but what the flip is that? What is that, bro? Take away the stats from last year, year before that, when he came. Take away the stats. Look at the moments in the games. All those moments and the moments where we supposed to just ran teams out of the stadium. We never did that. Haven't did it. Haven't seen it yet. So my thing is, I think he needs a new defensive line coach, new offensive line coach, new offensive coach, offensive coordinator. Some guys, at least that have some ties to the SEC, to come in, and show that what I'm talking about. And another thing, with everybody saying the board needs more time to get players in that his caliber. Man, once again, when you're a teacher, you don't know how these students learn. You just have to teach them the best way and your best ability, and you have to change some ways of things of how you do it, to get to them, and so your class can perform. So with that being said, when you receive keys to a barely used Bugatti that only have 20,000 miles on it, you gonna go and wreck it? It's damn near wrecked.
Yeah.
It's damn near wrecked. And, this day and age, I would have never thought in a million years that Bama would look like the way we look. Not even just with Indiana, man.
Yeah,
But
I got you.
A pass heavy West Coast type, if you're going to have a West Coast style offense, somebody on the defense side got to be that southern hit you in the mouth, smash mouth type style of team that makes you quit. West Coast teams don't make you quit. They make you score points. That's just my thing on it. Like, if we going to score points, okay, all right. So we're going to get into a lot of teams that going to, hit us in the mouth, and we won't score as many points. So what then? That's just my take on it, man. I ain't want to hold you at the time.
Yeah, you're good, brother. Yeah, I appreciate the call from Phoenix City, man. Thanks for dropping in, man. There's some really good high school football out there, man. Man, it's crazy to think of all the talent that rolls out of there, right?
One more thing to get off, not to cut you off.
Yeah,
I forgot.
you're good.
There's a kicker at Auburn High School. I think Kalen DeBoer needs to recruit.
Yeah.
The Joker kicked a 60-yard field goal.
That's wild.
60-yard. Yeah, they made several of them at Auburn High School. I think he need to recruit them. Might need to look into that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The high school football down there is crazy. It is it's ultra good, man. That whole region down there is just fantastic, man. I appreciate that, man. Hey, thanks for the call, bro, and we'll catch up with you next time, man.
Yes, sir, man. Take it easy.
Yeah, take it easy, man. Hey, sorry, it was 7:04. I just said that would be my last call. We've been on here for about 3 hours and 30 minutes, so I plan to do like a midday update, and then, time worked out, so we kind of just went heavy on it. So I appreciate you guys. News as it happens, I'll continue to update the transfer board. We will be live. We will still have our regular show. You will still get Bama football on YouTube. Wake Up Bama tomorrow, which drops at 4 a.m. Got a couple new targets that Alabama will be that they have extended offers to, including a new offensive lineman, a new running back, also kind of in the mix. So a lot of news continues to happen, and I'll help you kind of make sense of it all. And look, I think when I look to the board, kind of my final thoughts on the transfer board, clearly down here, probably your biggest losses, right? I mean, look, Formby, he was a starter. It's hard to bring experience in, but I think maybe this was probably for the best. Keon Keeley's the biggest loss, clearly. That's kind of the one kind of wow factor. That's like, oh, man, like everybody else, like seeing Jalen Mbakwe visit Georgia. You don't want him to go to Georgia. Rico Scott, you don't, I don't know wherever he's going to go, but you don't want him to go to like a conference rival. everybody else, I think the biggest losses so far: Keon Keeley, Noah Carter, Jalen Mbakwe, just because of his, I think future playmaking ability, and if he's like just put on the field, I think Bach can make plays. I'll just be honest with you. And then Rico Scott, you kind of wonder like what could have been, and then any of the offensive linemen, just because offensive linemen are hard to get, but are these the right offensive linemen for the system? Somebody did point this out, and I'm going to do some research on it. They said that a lot of these prospects are mostly Saban guys that are kind of leaving, and that there's a few that are only DeBoer guys. I think that's true, right? I mean, how many DeBoer guys on here are leaving? That's some, I don't know if there's any, right? Something interesting to track. All right, fam. Well, I appreciate you guys joining me on this special Sunday episode. Wake Up Bama will drop, and probably another video as well later on tonight. So keep the notifications on. I appreciate you guys. If you super chatted, thank you so much. It does cost for me to run the call-in line. Probably, like, just to give you an idea, this particular show right here that ran 3:30, I probably spent like $100 on the call-in show. So I get like, recharged every episode. So I'd like to make clearly more than that. So however you guys, like fan funders, super chats, whatever it is, I really appreciate it, because that is a cost that I do, spend on the call-in show, just being transparent with you. So I appreciate it. But the call-in show I think is great. And I love having the call-in show here, and I will clip a couple of the calls from here and put them on Wake Up Bama as well, because you guys have asked me to extend Wake Up Bama a little bit more. So I usually do like a 30-minute segment solo, and then I'll kind of add in the calls on kind of the back end. So appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much for kicking with me right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Have a blessed rest of your Sunday. Stay where your feet are at, and we'll break down news as it happens right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Enjoy the rest of your